Gentlemen and female gentlemen, welcome to the belly of the beast. So, I promised you I would be doing a video discussing and dissecting all the legitimate reasons there are to hate MrBeast, because there are a lot of false allegations and things flowing around, and that is not going to be the video of today. No, sir, that is not today, but that one is already recorded. That will be coming out on Thursday. Today, we are going to be looking directly into debunking all the false allegations, because there I was, minding my own business. I get a message on Twitter saying, hey, what's your Discord? And that message was sent to me by MrBeast himself. I was a little shocked. I thought he was going to sue me. Turns out he didn't sue me. We had a long conversation. I laid it all out on the table. Like all the legitimate criticisms, all the fake criticisms. Context was given in a lot of areas. As you know, Lord Nuxanor, do not leak. I never leak. Nothing will get leaked. Everything will be revealed in due time. As far as any private information that I might have received, which I probably didn't, let's be honest. That's crazy. But some of my perspectives have changed in multiple areas in regards to certain contexts of situations, and also in regards to the way that this was handled, which was poorly. It was very, very poorly handled, ultimately. So today we're going into all the allegations. Soggy Cereal made a video called The Real Truth about MrBeast, going into all the allegations made by Dogpack404, and he basically debunks a lot of them. So we're going to be going through this. I'm going to talk about the ones that I do care about, the ones that I don't care about. But ultimately, there are only about 5 genuine MrBeast allegations that I think hold some water at this time. Now, even those 5 genuine allegations have context behind them that aren't fully, explored, which I do want to wait for a response, but ultimately, you know, doing a cover-up in regards to silencing criticism, reviewing comments, sending cease and desists, like, all that kind of stuff definitely paints you in a bad light, especially when someone accuses you of hiring a pedophile, and instead of being like, no, that's not true, it's just kind of ignored for months. That's retarded. That is fucking crazy. But anyway, there's a lot to do. So we're going to start with going through every single debunked allegation against MrBeast, because I think it's important to whittle down all the bullshit so that the actual allegations can be addressed, and I will reserve judgment until those addresses, even though, as it stands right now, I am relatively negative in specific areas. So the analogy that I gave was, there are 100 allegations against MrBeast, right? From multiple illegal lotteries to fraudulent claims to faking videos to hiring pedophiles to crypto scams to, like, these, there are 100 allegations against MrBeast, okay? I'd say of those 100, only 5 of them are really legitimate. But as it stands right now, we need to weed out the 95 bullshit claims so that we can maybe get a genuine response for the 5 real ones that maybe they are legitimate, maybe they are not legitimate. But, bro, the big 5, at least off the top of my head, are alleged crypto scams, hiring pedophiles, knowing what Ava Chris Tyson was up to, allegedly, and, you know, because that freaky shit, moving around people that were known in the company as sexual predators, which that story has more context that we shall see if that changes things, all right? And, you know, I had a 5th one. Oh, and the, God, fuck, well, don't remember the 5th one. I had a 5th one. There are 5 really big major allegations, and the other 5 are bullshit, or bullshit asterisk. So we're gonna go through that shit. We're gonna destroy this. I don't like the fraud. I don't like any of that. So let's see Soggy Cereal's deep dive in all this. We're breaking apart the fake claims so we can hone in on attacking the beast on the real shit. Okay? Okay. Let's see.
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. I'm talking. I'm interrupting.
I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time. Can I please have a second chance?
You were the manager of Dawson, or Dogpack404.
I was the manager of Dogpack404 for a time being.
Oh my god.
You had to describe...
Gotta respect Soggy Cereal for putting the grind in for this video.
the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word. What word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you make that joke?
Actively right now, but the videos at Dawson.
Yeah, so like another one is the war crime thing. People are accusing MrBeast of war crimes. I thought it was obviously a joke. Technically, he didn't do it against Jake Weddle's will, right? He put Jake... However, if he was peer pressured into that position, it's still pretty fucked up. Now, technically, is it a war crime? Obviously not. It's fucking insane, anyone that thinks that. But apparently there were genuine people that called him a war criminal. Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestion. But again, that's a joke to show you the torture that Jake Weddle went through. Not directly calling him a war criminal. Again, it's a very muddy situation, and we gotta get to the bottom of this shit.
Is making. He is actively hurting the philanthropy that is helping thousands and millions of lives.
Oh, so you want to cheaply manipulate people by imitating Content Cop? I'll show you imitating Content Cop.
What we do here is go
Oh my god. Oh my god, full content cop.
Fuck.
A real content cop. Oh my god, it's been so long. Jump in, jump in. Yes, do it. Get bored by the garbage can. Oh my god. Who is the real criminal? Yeah, anywho, this is gonna be wild. Let's see what this is all about. Holy shit. Again, the big ones, we gotta knock off the small ones before we worry about the big ones. But ultimately, bro, if he was actually, again, CoffeeZilla in his video talking about this, you know, he said allegedly, he said MrBeast didn't own the funds that did that shit. But dude, there's so much shit out there. We gotta wade through the shit in order to find the real shit. You know what I'm saying?
As most of you have probably guessed by now, this video won't just be about this alleged fraudulent and manipulative asshole, it'll also be about this confirmed fraudulent and manipulative
Let's
asshole.
go!
404.
Listen, in the words of Moist Critical, sometimes the alleger is just as bad, if not worse, than the alleged. Listen, I'm friendly with Dogpack as well, so I want to see you prove that Dogpack was malicious. For me, that would be a big turning point.
Or also known as Dawson French, and his victims of manipulation. For the people who have not been exposed to his propaganda yet, Dogpack404, or Dawson French, is an ex-MrBeast employee who worked there for about 3 weeks, and after being fired, made or worked on videos filled with lies about MrBeast.
All right, let's see what this is all about, because this is gonna be crazy. Let's see him prove malicious lies. That would be insane. So there's a lot of negligence and a lot of. So let me tell you. Let me tell you some things that I don't like just before. Dogpack didn't do his research on some of the stuff. Like, for example, Dogpack accused James Warren of to be a domestic abuser, and then he himself confirmed, oh, that was a different guy by the name of James Warren, it's not the same guy. Like, as an example, that definitely hurts MrBeast's company, but I wouldn't say it's malicious as much as it's grossly negligent and holy shit bad. I want to see proof of maliciousness to these lies.
And I became suspicious of Dogpack404 after he called me overdramatic for not wanting to spread serious accusations with unsubstantiated and easily refutable evidence.
Ooh.
As well as because he tried to silence me with threats of slander after I
What?
and easily refutable evidence. As well as because he tried to silence me with threats of slander.
All right, big dog, good talk. I'm still gonna cook you. Sure, got receipts enough to prove my innocence. I can give them actually, but sure, if you want to go back. Okay, Dogpack didn't. What?
Substantiated and easily refutable evidence. As well as because he tried to silence me with threats of slander.
He did not. Where do you see silence with threats of slander? All right, big dog, good talk. I'm still gonna cook you. That's because he thinks he's right. All right. That's dramatic.
I started suspecting him of lying. So in this video, I will be debunking close to every accusation he.
Oh shit! Are these all the accusations made by Dogpack? Ooh, that's a bingo! All right, let's go.
And the people.
Dude, what the fuck?
Lying. So in this video, I will be debunking close to every
Delaware equals messed up nickname. How the fuck are you gonna knock this one off? Delaware is his nickname because he was a child rapist in Delaware. He fucked a kid in Delaware, bro. Like, how are you? What are you gonna do about? What are you gonna do about this one? Okay, all right. Anyway, let's see what this is all about.
accusation.
See, some of these are obviously bullshit. Like, MrBeast suggests pedo anime. That was obviously bullshit. Lifetime dog food scam. That was just an email that went to the guy's spam and he didn't notice. That one's obviously bullshit. Like, some of these, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna fake. You know, or some of these are obviously James Warren, domestic violence, right? That one's obviously fake. That was proven fake already. All right. You know what? Let's let the man cook.
He and the people he manipulated have made. But Soggy, are you?
Now, why is he calling Rosanna Pansino manipulated by Dogpack? Rosanna Pansino has been after MrBeast's schmeat for a very long time. She made posts. She reported MrBeast to the FBI for bullshit reasons, and people were like, "Oh God, well, it must be serious because she reported to the FBI." Like, even I covered this before when they leaked the alleged work chat of MrBeast, and she reported it to the FBI. Oh my God, bro, are you serious?
I'm going to place the Mr.
Dude, there's so many things that have been said that were completely and utterly unsubstantiated. It's insane. Here's a stupid example. All right. Here's Rosanna Pansino saying, I've heard rumors from people working close with MrBeast that he's hiring PIs to investigate the people speaking against him. Thank you for the people who reached out to warn me and others. I have confirmation from several people that individuals are me. No evidence, no proof. I'm keeping all the receipts, which have never been shown. Again, it could be true. It could be not true, but it definitely does paint the picture of MrBeast hiring private investigators to follow around people criticizing him. Like, ultimately, the waters are so messy at this point. I would really like to kind of hone down what's real and what's not before I actually get into the real bullshit.
Beast Soggy, are you going to take right the largely owning, alleged intentionally registered sex offender hiring MrBeast?
Did he call him an alleged sex offender? Like, that was... All right. Oh, allegedly intentionally hiring a sex offender. All right, let's see where this goes.
No. See, I think we can all agree that Lunchley, kinda cringe. Logan Paul KSI collab, kinda, that's a yikes out of 10, okay?
Agreed.
And the fucking mold situation, that is disgustingly messed up, and I'm never eating that shit in my life.
All right, agreed, bro. You don't. Okay, whatever. Again, no leaking any conversations that we actually had, but. I will say, I literally brought out the fucking cookbook to throw it at Mr. Breast. I threw every piece of shit at him to hear what he would say and how he would put it in, he would contextualize it. And some of it he argued a really good points, I'll be honest. He really gave me perspectives in very interesting ways that I didn't think of because obviously I didn't have all the information. But some of them, there was still like what you gonna say? Like, there's mold in Lunchley. Is that because of a Lunchley problem, or is that because mold happens in food? I don't know. Again, I just think I want to tell you so many shit. All right, no leaks, 0 leaks, nothing happens. God, I made so much fun of Logan Paul though, but no leaks.
But that doesn't mean that just because this spiteful, vengeful ghoul accuses MrBeast of intentionally hiring a registered sex offender, that he actually did. Yeah.
What? All right, dude, if you debunk this one, I will be blown away.
Let's talk about the lie spun by Dogpack and Jake Weddle, that MrBeast knowingly hired a registered sex offender and while working at the company would refer to him by covert codename Delaware.
Yeah, okay.
Because of the crimes he committed there, and as a result is not allowed to go back into the state of Delaware.
Okay.
And that MrBeast higher-ups are using that nickname because they enjoy messed up insider jokes like...
Dude, everyone likes edgy jokes. Maybe it was just an edgy joke. For me, it's not even the fact that they called him Delaware because he was not allowed to go back to Delaware. It was the fact that there was a fucking pedophile on the MrBeast staff that was idolized by children, and they eventually fired him, probably because they figured, he's a pedophile, we should probably fire him. They never mentioned anything. Like, imagine a kid bumping into this guy on the street, okay? This dude bumps into fucking Delaware on the street, and it's like, oh my God, you're the guy from the MrBeast videos. And he's like, that's right, kid. Like, that is not something that should ever happen, right? Like, I think that, okay, whatever. We'll see the argument that Mr. Serial here makes, but absolutely, that dude should have been fired publicly with prejudice.
Like that.
When I was there, they called him Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why. You know? You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask.
Yeah, that is fucking horrible. That is the biggest MrBeast allegation for sure. The fact that he has a pedophile on his staff that he's covering up in his videos and that they all knew about it.
Just saying that out loud makes it sound like a contrived side plot in a badly written Netflix series, since state banishments are extremely rare. Most recent one I found was a 1-year Kentucky banishment in the year 2000.
Okay, but even if Jake Weddle got it wrong that he's not allowed to go back to Delaware, it's very likely that Jake Weddle was referring to the fact that he was accused in Delaware. He became a felon in Delaware, right? That is also very possible. Oh, but again, true, it is misinformation. If he could go back to Delaware, that is valid, but it doesn't negate the greater MrBeast criticism.
The real story is much more boring. See, according to a anonymous MrBeast employee, Dustin Harris, who has been working at MrBeast for about 6 years and went rogue because he couldn't stand Jimmy not
a non-anonymous MrBeast employee, because you get so much of this shit. It's like, anonymous MrBeast keep telling me that MrBeast poisoned the Gotham City water supply. I don't know if it's true, and that's technically not slander because you said you don't know if it's true.
Responding to all of the misinformation being spread about not just Jimmy or the MrBeast company, but also about his own friends and colleagues. Well, he explained that Delaware was once a store manager at Jimmy's local Best Buy, which, for the people who don't know, Best Buy is a $20 billion valued electronics retailer company.
Okay.
With stores all over the US. And that when Jimmy was 19 and first started blowing up on YouTube, Jimmy realized he needed employees to improve his content. So, as a dumbass, impulsive 19-year-old randomly thrown into fame, he went to his local Best Buy and asked its employees if they wanted to work for him. Naively,
oh my god. Oh my god. So wait, so he didn't know him at all before he hired him? He just walked into a random Best Buy and hired him? Okay, again, he was 19. I don't expect a 19-year-old to know to do background checks on people that he's hiring because they might be pedophiles. I totally get that. That definitely does sort of track. That said, the moment you figure out that he's a pedophile, gotta get rid of that dude. Also, Jake the Viking on Twitter, an ex-MrBeast employee, said that this guy's his brother-in-law, which does lead me to believe that they knew more, maybe? Question mark? And second of all, and I think this is more prevalent, Jake the Viking claimed that MrBeast and MrBeast's mom were made aware that he's a pedophile and still hired him after they confirmed it. That was Jake the Viking's big claim. I don't know if Soggy Cereal is going to show it. Let me see if I could pick that up. Let me see if I can get that because I think that's another big one. Jake. Oh, fuck Jake the Viking. I'll just go to MrBeast. We'll just go directly to the beast. Straight to the beast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is MrBeast's big response for his third-party investigation. Someone in the comments. Yeah, there it is. So this is Jake the Viking, a former MrBeast employee. Oh, he does show it? He addresses it? All right, so in that case, we'll just keep going. All right.
Thinking that a multi-billion-dollar company would have at least made sure to not hire criminals and especially to not hire a registered sex offender as store manager. 19-year-old MrBeast didn't do background checks. Was that stupid? Yes. Is Delaware a piece of shit? Yes.
Yeah, I think MrBeast, a lot of these allegations do come down to like just him being a dumbass. I think that is true as well, and not necessarily as heinous as it's being made out. But again, we wait for the full allegation, the full story. We'll see where this goes.
Jimmy take responsibility for making that mistake? Yes. But
thank you. And he didn't. So in my mind, even if you do debunk that he didn't know that he was a pedophile or whatever, I do think he needs to take accountability for the fact that he hired a pedophile, put him on blast, literally put him in front of a child audience, turned him into like one of the main characters in his squad for a little bit, silently fired him because maybe he was a brand risk, I don't fucking know, and never said anything about it. I do think that it should definitely be addressed very publicly on a platform like MrBeast.
It wasn't this fucked up master plan by Jimmy to intentionally hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business. And
I think that's very likely as well. But why did he not acknowledge it or anything, bro?
Need to take mine or Dustin's word.
And why did he deny it? Oh!
Word for it. If someone did but a shred of research, you'd find the still publicly available, almost 7-year-old video on the MrBeast channel, where you can see Delaware as the Best Buy store manager before he was hired at MrBeast.
I don't know what evidence that necessarily is. What, the fact that they didn't make up the Delaware nickname?
And guess what nickname was embroidered on his Best Buy uniform? Delaware.
I love how he's talking, like, dude's actually talking to me like a complete idiot, but ultimately, why does he have that nickname Delaware? His name isn't Mr. Delaware, alright? So, yes, the nickname is definitely alluding to the fact that this guy was there. They didn't make up the nickname. Sure. but they knew he's a registered sex offender from Delaware. Again, right? Again, we don't know if he knew before he hired him or if he only figured it out after the fact. That, we still got a question mark on that.
Wow.
Which definitely makes a big difference, but accountability should still be had in regards to getting rid of this guy.
Well, that was hard investigative research.
They called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew, and
That might not be even false, necessarily.
because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. And whenever
Again, that was before he was on MrBeast Squad. That was when he was still working at Best Buy. Again, this isn't debunking the Jake Weddle claim, in my opinion.
he is, he's wearing a mask.
Like, Jake Weddle just didn't do the research and he didn't know about that.
Wearing a mask.
For the people thinking that he still works at MrBeast, no, he was fired over half a decade ago. No, don't.
Yeah, again, a lot of this can be explained with MrBeast was just naive and stupid. That is a very valid explanation for hiring this guy. And negligent. But it's still not an explanation for why he didn't publicly talk about firing him, which I think was pretty much warranted. Like, if it turns out that my editor was a pedophile, I would fucking tell you guys. Alright? Like, you know.
Back. Before you say something along the lines of,
Especially if it was like the main character in a kid's channel, right?
what about the recording we showed from a real MrBeast employee talking about Delaware? Do you really want me to go into detail about how you and your cronies tricked an employee into saying what you
Oh,
wanted him to
shit!
say to support your lies, and then you guys recording him and using that recording without his consent?
Oh shit! Oh! Wait, he could prove that?
Okay. Hi, Garrett. Can you tell me a bit about how long you worked at MrBeast?
I was at MrBeast from around 2017 to 2021.
So you've worked there for 5 years and could be seen as a credible ex-employee.
Yep.
You're the person who we can hear talk about Delaware in the recording Dawson or Dogback404 shows in his video. Can you tell me a bit about how that happened?
Yeah, it was not to my knowledge that I was being recorded at all. You know, I have a friend who, you know, I worked with plenty of times outside of MrBeast. Just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on him. Him checking up on me. And, you know, when two people speak about old places, you know, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up, there's, you know, et cetera, whatever. And then the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, Dogpack releases like a 12 million view video where, you know, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice.
Technically, he released a 0 view video and then 12 million people watched it, but whatever.
And if you know me, like, you know it's me.
So was the entire call basically...
Oh, so even with the voice changer, people were still able to identify it's him. That's a pretty shitty move. You know, L friend, W snitch, I guess. This is the yikes. Okay.
Just rumors you were talking about with a friend?
Yeah, it's just a friend. We're just shooting the shit. And
Dude, when I was talking to MrBeast, I wasn't using words like allegedly every 2 sentences. Okay, like if everything's recorded in private conversations and put into the public, it definitely paints a very different picture than it should have, and that is definitely an incredibly, wildly shitty thing to do. Goddamn.
you know, we're just gossiping a lot, catching up on, you know, the current drama. Like, it's just, it is nothing crazy. Like
nothing you said had any actual facts behind it, as they tried to construe in their video.
No, I don't think any of the stuff that we were talking about really had any facts or like evidence.
Hearsay.
It was just water cooler talk.
Would you say them using the call recording unconsensually in their video has damaged you or your life in any way?
Yeah, unfortunately. To say that it hasn't hurt me financially would be just a lie. You know?
Yeah, and to say that this hasn't hurt MrBeast financially is also a lie. MrBeast is definitely hurting from all this shit. And if it's not true, it's a fucking tragedy. Again, I think there are like 5 big allegations that really need to be addressed. And until they're addressed, I'm not gonna just roll over and die. But we do need to definitely thwart the bullshit. Like, for example, one of the big allegations against MrBeast is that he's distributing child porn. I'm sure Sagi Serial is gonna get that, but that was just flat out, completely and utterly false. But like, if you look up MrBeast allegations, and you're gonna see 1,000 people saying that he distributed child porn. That's pretty fucked up.
You know, mentally, it's hurt me as well. I mean, I was manic and crazy for about a month and a half, trying to just watch relationships like fall through my fingers. You know, I lost someone that like was pretty close to me as well. You know, it just wasn't a good scene. So financially and mentally, it really messed me up.
Do you feel in any way like tricked, deceived, or used?
I mean, yeah. To say that I felt tricked or used is an understatement. Like, they knowingly came and did this. You know, I had like 3 or 4 contacts call me the night that it dropped, and I was watching the whole video trying to figure out like what they were talking about. And when it got to that recording, my stomach just like sank.
All because of a call that they unconsensually recorded.
Damn, all right. Well, that's incredibly
basically
shitty.
rumors and gossip.
Yeah. I didn't want to be involved with, didn't even know what was going on. That, you know, I was just thrown into unconsensually. And yeah, you said it, man. I just it threw a pretty big wall up in the progress of my life, and I didn't feel like that was needed. And pretty upset.
But then, what about...
That's wildly shitty. Wildly shitty. To just have some random chat not telling them that it's for like some massive exposed video that you're working on behind the scenes. Damn, that's fucking scummy. God damn. Alright. 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 Alright.
Jake the Viking's tweet about Jimmy...
Yes! Yes!
His mom literally allowing her then barely of age son to knowingly be in contact with and hire a pedophile. First of all, have you thought about just how fucking absurd that sounds? And second...
Again, I don't know these people. I don't know how absurd it is.
Jake the Viking is a shitty person and untrustworthy.
Agreed, he's a shitty person, but I don't see any reason why he would lie about this when it's his brother-in-law that's the pedophile.
Even Dogback's friends agree on that.
Viking is not a good guy, and that's just an opinion based on his actions in my eyeballs.
Bro, what is this, a character witness? Bro, like, again, that is not a solid argument in my opinion. I'll tell you my complaints about this in a moment.
Wow, Dogback and Jake Weddle falsely implying MrBeast intentionally hired a registered sex offender and created a nickname to joke.
I mean, you're saying falsely implying, but we still don't know if it's false because it was never directly denied publicly, right? Okay, something that I was very, very adamant about in the past in my conversation with a certain somebody was if someone accused me of knowingly hiring a pedophile and putting him on the stand and all that shit, and it was not true, the first thing I would do is deny it. Literally, the first thing I do is deny it. And MrBeast never actually came out and denied it. Now, he never actually came out and denied anything. Now, there's a lot of arguments for why he wasn't able to do that. There was the investigation that was going on in his people. There was the fact that there's another 100 fucking fake allegations that he's gonna need to sit down and do a 4-hour video to deal with literally everything. You can't just respond to one thing and not the other thing. And ultimately, it leaves that incredibly bad allegation out there to just continue gaining more and more clout because, bruh, if there would have been a counter voice saying that this is not true, I think it would have been a totally different story. As it stands right now, someone told MrBeast, your mother and you knew that he was a pedophile before you hired him, and you still hired him. And they didn't deny it. That is fucking crazy, bro. Crazy. This is the worst allegation of all time, and it should have instantly been denied. Nipped in the bud as it starts. Because this is like one of the backbones of why MrBeast is getting all this shit, right? Now, again, I wasn't there. I wasn't a fly on the wall. I have no idea what the actual reality is. I do know that MrBeast should have absolutely denied it if it was fake. 100%. Like, holy shit.
Spoke about it within the company to then try back up their baseless claims.
I still think it is a legitimate point of criticism against MrBeast until MrBeast denies it. Because at this point, it's not he said, she said. It's just he said. And she didn't disagree.
By tricking an employee and recording him without consent, that's pretty messed up, Soggy. Yahoo! That'd be as shameless as falsely accusing someone of committing war crimes against the Geneva...
Alright, wait, before we get to the war crimes, we're still in the Delaware pedophile shit. Still in the Delaware pedophile shit. Again, I think this still needs to be addressed 100%. This wasn't debunked, okay? Just because his nickname was Delaware, and before that they called him Delaware, that does not that doesn't detract from the fact that this shit is going on. That he was a pedophile in Delaware, or whatever the truth is. It's incredibly messy, incredibly yucky, and absolutely needs to be addressed. And honestly, I think accountability needs to be taken for not publicly firing him and calling him Delaware and calling him out as a pedophile, saying, you know, you guys should stay away from this guy. He's dangerous. He is publicized on my channel, and now kids know him because he's on my channel, and he's a registered pedophile. So, well, we'll get to the war crimes. Let's start the war crime segment. I am not fully satisfied with the alleged debunking of the alleged pedophile thing. I need to hear it publicly from the Beast's mouth. My gut feeling is they probably did not know that he was a pedophile before they hired him. Realistically, I think that what mother would hire a pedophile to work with their 19-year-old son, right, in a kid's channel? But so realistically, gut feeling probably, but it absolutely needs to be addressed and apologized for. And we'll see where that goes.
Convention in a consented to solitary confinement challenge where you'd earn $10,000 a day and can quit whenever you want and still keep the accumulated prize money up until that point. During a
chat, I cannot disclose anything, okay? I am not disclosing any private information at all. I asked him if I was allowed to say that I talked to him, and it changed my perspective on certain things. He said yes, so that is why I mentioned that I talked to him, changed my perspective on certain things. I'm gonna try to do my best to be as objective as possible. I love the chaos, and I will sit here and fling shit, and whoever deserves fling shit flung at them, okay? But I'm not giving specifics because that needs to be publicly said by somebody in the know. And I am not that somebody.
A time where we have multiple countries.
Didn't Jake the Viking tweet Jimmy's mom talked about it with Delaware? Well, yes he did. Was he lying? I don't know. It was never publicly denied. Gut feeling, he probably was lying. However, it was never denied. Why would you not deny it? It's like when someone accuses you of raping them and you're just like, huh, and don't say anything. Like, brother.
Actively at war in the world with millions of people suffering because of it. Oh, wait.
I go up to my friend, my good friend. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not.
See, again, I took this as a joke in the video, but apparently a lot of the people that went to MrBeast with allegations didn't take this as a joke.
Allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
Right, that sounds like a joke to me. Again, a lot of people didn't take it as a joke and started calling him a war criminal because of this, but I took this as a joke, literally from the very beginning.
You know what? Let's ask Dustin about that, because ironically enough, Dustin is a good friend of Jake Weddle, who made those war crime comments. And I can prove it with Jake Weddle's own words.
One of my dear friends who I believe I lost is the same guy who did the war crime joke, which turned out to not be a joke. He got injured.
He said which turned out to not be a joke. Again, I think he's still joking. Again, I think he's still joking, but maybe, yeah. Fuck, what do you mean maybe turned out to not be a joke? Oh, he said it turned out to not be a joke. Damn, that's fucking awful. It's obviously a joke. Bro, Jake Weddle had consent to leave. It was words, not a war crime. Weren't you calling him a war criminal? Again, it was a joke. I thought it was a joke the entire freaking time. So I called him I said, Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestion. These are war crimes. I never called him a war criminal, obviously. Jake Weddle had consent to leave this challenge at any time. Yes, maybe he was peer pressured into not leaving, in which case it makes it definitely awkward and awful and shitty and shit, but it's not war crimes.
MrBeast, that's because of Viking. On that shoot, everybody else had to stay behind and clean up. And Viking said, fuck that, let's just throw all of this over the side of the mountain, like littering in a national park. And my good dear friend, who I kept saying was one of the good people over there, said, you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. And Viking said, watch me. And he did. But my friend gathered up all the stuff he could to make sure there was just that much less litter. And that's a really good thing to do. He carried everything he could down the mountain, and he broke his ankle. They said, yeah, you were carrying too much stuff, right? Yes, he was. Because that guy's a saint.
And blame me for our friend Dustin. I'll use names, unlike you. Our friend Dustin falling and breaking his leg. Or not his leg, his ankle. I'm sorry, falling and breaking his ankle.
Now, why would someone who Jake Weddle himself, who is clearly against MrBeast, describes as one of the best people he has ever known, who literally broke his ankle trying to prevent littering, and in Jake's own words, is a saint?
Because that guy's a saint.
Go rogue to try and correct defamatory statements made against Jimmy if Jimmy committed war crimes. The war crime stuff was 100% a joke. I'm now a producer, but I was originally hired as comedy writer with Jake Weddle, so I just wanted to cheer him up with a dumb and edgy joke.
I mean, I think that was obvious the whole time. I can't believe people actually thought that the war crimes thing was like a legitimate allegation. Like, again, imagine from the perspective of an advertiser, okay? You're an advertiser. You have an $100 million budget you want to spend on massive advertisements. You go to MrBeast, the biggest channel, you're like, what's MrBeast been up to? And then you Google it and you see people accusing him of war crimes. Yeah, that's fucking awful. That's pretty shitty. But, yeah, no, I always thought this was a joke. I think the reason why they mentioned the war crime stuff was just to show you the torture that Jake Weddle went through. And he legitimately went through that level of pain. I think that was the purpose of mentioning war crimes.
Oh, so
it's like the idea of calling someone a Nazi, okay? They're not telling you that, oh, you should definitely go on trial for being a neo-Nazi and you know, get executed for being a Nazi, right? Like, dude, being called a Nazi is just a badge of honor on the internet these days.
Was a joke. Dustin actually did say the war crime stuff as a joke. Okay, that makes sense, because in a follow-up video of Jake Weddle's and Dogbag's interview, Jake Weddle seems to slip up, saying it was a joke.
Again, I thought it was a joke the entire time. I literally never took that as serious. Anyone would think of a working frontal cortex would take that as serious. Wouldn't take that as serious. But I guess it's a legitimate thing that was causing MrBeast brand harm.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
Before quickly correcting himself.
Which turned out to not be a joke.
And his videos are pretty unedited, so he might have just accidentally let it slip through the cracks. And just...
No, I think it was, like, just a joke.
To be clear, I'll show the clip of Dogback's 13 million viewed video again, in which Jake and Dogback clearly insinuated it wasn't a joke.
Oh,
I go up to
really?
my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
I mean, that kind of looks like a joke. It's obviously not a war crime, right? Like, what? He even puts up the Geneva Conventions, even though the definition literally just proves their own accusations and Jake Weddle wasn't a detainee. Exactly! That's why I thought everyone took it as a joke. Ed's definition of war crimes in the bottom left to manipulate viewer. It's just... Again, I don't think this is the worst part. Again, I guess they should have made it more obvious to the 12 million dumbasses that watched this video and thought he was an actual war criminal. But I thought this was always a joke.
Oh!
It just went to show the level of torture that this guy went through.
Good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
It's a really big allegation to say that, like, MrBeast took away your agency and, in a sense, kind of, like, forced you into doing this. But,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that is obviously an exaggeration also, because he technically did have the right to leave at any point.
I agree. That is very serious. That's why I alleged it.
This is not remotely... Yeah, no, obviously it's not a war crime!
And the viewers clearly didn't think it was a joke either.
Wait, really?
That's why I alleged it.
And the viewers clearly didn't think it was a joke.
Stop spreading fake info onto the page, accept the truth, and realize MrBeast committed a war crime. Oh my fucking god. On the MrBeast wiki. Bro, you had to look for the wiki! For one comment on the wiki to believe it! Oh my god. Anyway.
Either. But just as I will rip into Jimmy later in this video, I'll also investigate Jake Weddle's story in more detail later in this video.
That's huge. That's fucking huge. Because Jake Weddle was definitely did go through a lot of shit. Obviously, it's not a war crime. Obviously not. Obviously not. Anyone that's calling him a war criminal as a legitimate allegation is fucking stupid and brain dead.
Is in between him falsely accusing Jimmy of intentionally hiring an RSO and comparing himself consensually agreeing to doing a challenge for $10,000 a day, being allowed to leave whenever he wants, to rape victims and victims of war crimes.
Again, you're really over dramatizing it. It's like when someone says, you know, Nazi on the internet, they're not referring to someone that worked under Hitler to kill Jews. I think it was just for the extra punch in comparison to show you the level of torture he went through. And yes, he was consensually able to leave at any time. It was definitely and utterly not a war crime. The people that are actually spreading war crime allegations are fucking imbeciles. I think obviously. Like, super obviously. We gotta do some research. Hold on. I just want to find this war crime thing. Who's saying war crime? Did this guy say war crime? Apparently, MrBeast had a registered sex offender working with abused kids between the age of 1 to 11. A little happy accident found the bad. Yes, your company doesn't do background checks. We hire staff to work on children. You know, not hiring. Dude, I don't know. Because I typed in MrBeast war crime. Why am I getting this shit? Okay, so I see the registered sex offender stuff. Okay, this is drama alert. Question mark, allegedly. Whatever. That's bullshit, obviously. MrBeast running psychological torture on poor people like rich villains in horror movies. Yeah, sure. Again, I literally typed in MrBeast war crime. I don't know. Wait, what? Mujid! Exposed to have directly violated human rights! Ah! Okay, that's obviously wrong. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's definitely wrong. Never mind. Yep, no, Mujin, that's an L. He didn't violate human rights. Because technically, Jake Weddle had the right to leave at any times. Technically, he had the right to leave at any time. Yeah, well, anyway. Alright, well, That's a video that he made probably with 1 million views or something.
Well, guys, I never thought I was actually...
Yeah, that's a video with 600,000 views. We have proof that he severely violated human rights. He didn't technically violate any human rights. You could say that what he did was immoral the way Jake Weddle was peer pressured into the situation. That you can absolutely say. But to call him a war criminal or a human rights violator is an obvious over-exaggeration.
Even though he knew that was
and false.
A joke.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
As well as spreading fake AI-generated incriminating voice recordings of...
Again, I thought that was incredibly shitty of Jake Weddle, and I called him out for this when it happened, but he did immediately, right after the voice call, say it was, fake.
MrBeast?
What are our options? Is it we consider that because I'm not constructive here? Can somebody tell me what my options are here? Because we were supposed to launch this point today. Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He's supposed to be a student. He has to be in the dream. He has no idea how much fucking money I spent on that video to subscribe it. Jake, I really Jake's a problem. I think it's possible.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI.
Maybe.
Yeah. Again, incredibly shitty of him to do this, and I called him out on this when this happened. But to say that this is spreading lies and defamation is not necessarily accurate either, because technically he immediately said it was fake and AI. Like, again.
We say that before playing the recording because you worked at MrBeast and you know how people will just watch the recording and then click off of the video without ever hearing your disclaimer that it was AI generated. Oh, but then you wouldn't get as much money from views because this AI generated disinformation video is the one that got your channel monetized.
Yeah.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And then after making those slanderous claims, accepts
I wouldn't argue that it was a slanderous claim, but anyway.
Another $50,000 from Jimmy with no strings attached. There's a lot more to be said about him.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
Yeah, I still think you should have either taken no money from MrBeast or you should have taken all the money from MrBeast. Just taking 50K is ridiculous. Yeah, again, I think this isn't the biggest situation. I want him to get to all the little allegations, the fact that Lunchables are less healthy than Hershey's, or when he marketed it as healthy, and the illegal lotteries and the fraudulent videos and the fake philanthropy. Like, there's a lot of shit to cover here.
And about how Dogpack manipulated him. But let's first continue with all of the lies and manipulation of Dogpack 404.
All right, let's go. Let's go. The truth doesn't mind being questioned. A lie doesn't like to be challenged. All right, baby, let's go. From Nietzsche or r/I'm14 this dark. Nice.
Now, for the visual learners watching, you'll see that I have behind me a wall. And this wall features most of Dogpack 404's accusations. And I say most because at this point there are just so many that I might have forgotten a few. And every time I disprove one of his accusations, it'll be crossed through with red marker.
All right, let's go.
Every time I prove one to be uncertain, I'll add a blue question mark to it. And every time an accusation Dogpack made is true, I'll add a green check mark to it. And I know that you and I and everyone else wants to know about the illegal lottery.
All right, let's do it. Illegal lotteries. Again, I don't think this is the biggest allegation, but let's knock off all the shitty ones.
He's really commit 3 malicious and predatory illegal lotteries as get-rich-quick scheme, but I will talk about them throughout my video in between all of the other accusations, starting right now with the alleged illegal lottery number 3 claim of Dogpack 404. Or should I say doctoring up evidence to make more convincing claims you knew to be untrue.
What? No! Did he actually doctor up evidence to make a convincing claim you knew to be untrue? All right.
Back 404. Yeah, Dawson. I'm the first one who noticed. See, for the third illegal lottery, by sure to be in a video live stream, Dogpack claims they only informed people on the website that no purchase was necessary. But,
the website did have a no purchase necessary link hidden on the bottom of the page, but that was nowhere to be found on the stream.
Did you read the description? You know, the description, which I got via the Wayback Machine?
No! Dogpack! Hey, oh my god. Huge freaking L. There's no way it has no purchase necessary in the description and Dogpack literally maliciously cropped it out. No fucking way.
Where it literally says free entry available on site.
Dogpack, this is fucking bad. The other ones you could claim it was mistakes and shit. This is fucking malicious. What? What?
Oh, but wait, you never actually found the description of that video, did you? You just made it look that way by doctoring up this fake YouTube UI. So you'd be more convincing and it'd look as if you had access to the original video and description. So people would more easily believe you. But I want you, the viewer, to closely compare these two layouts. This one is a UI when he talks about the...
Yeah, that's obviously fake, right? Look at it. There's no likes on the video, all right? The font is weird. The date is down here.
It's sure to be in my video live stream, and this one is the actual current YouTube UI you see whenever Dogpack shows a screen recording of public videos you can still watch. And when putting the two side by side, you can see that the UI for the illegal live stream is not the real YouTube UI. Instead of rounded corners, they're sharp, the likes are gone, the upload date is in a completely wrong spot where it has never been, and the button sizes and title font just seem off. And no, it's not because he found an older YouTube UI via the Wayback Machine like I did, because they don't hide likes and YouTube has never had this exact UI. Sure, it had sharp corners once, but not in combination with these exact other UI elements.
Damn, that's
but you wanna
wild.
know the funniest part? Even the re-uploaded version that Dogpack found and then added a manipulative fake YouTube UI to actually had copied the original live stream's description.
Oh my god, he cooked him! He cooked him. Dogpack, what the hell, man? What the damn hell?
So, even in the real...
Yeah, I think it's very clear that at this point, this is not an illegal lottery. See, again, I always made this delineation when I talked about the illegal lottery stuff. That on the one hand, there's the technical definition of illegal lottery. And then, because an illegal lottery, there needs to be a free way to enter. So, to make it legal. So, that was one. The other one is promoting gambling to children. I came from the perspective that promoting gambling to children is obviously a bad thing. And that is technically, factually real. In my opinion, and that's what he did. But again, technically not an illegal lottery. At least not this one.
Upload he found, it says that there's a free entry option. Yet he still doctored up this fake UI to make his intentional lies more convincing. Nah, I'm just kidding. Funniest part is that MrBeast verbally says it on stream.
Go shopmrbeast.com, buy the shirt or hoodie. You can be one of the people that come down and compete in the video. There's also a free entry on the site as well. If you just 100 of which are going to be picked from people that buy the shirt or hoodie, or if you enter for free on the site as well, that's an option as well. So,
oh my god, you're so sneaky.
Yeah, no, that is so sneaky. That is so sneaky. Again, at this point, the issue is, like, when he originally came out with this video, Keemstar said on Twitter, MrBeast reached out to me and told me he was planning an apology within the next week, and that never happened. So, this is so easy to debunk. So easy to debunk, and literally maliciously taken out of context. The fact that he cropped out that fucking shit from the description, that is insane. Insane. This is a bald-faced lie. This was a perfectly legal lottery that, in my opinion, is still not super moral because you're technically promoting gambling to children, but who fucking cares? All right, there's legal and then there's moral. They're different. Everyone has their own morals. I'm not gonna blame you if you take a crypto fucking shit sponsor, but I personally don't want one of those. God damn.
Now, when someone is prepared to doctor up evidence to make potentially incriminating lies more convincing, it automatically puts every single one of their accusations that isn't bulletproof into questions.
Yes, it does. See, again, this works both ways. For me, when MrBeast went talking about how his philanthropy is all real, and then it turns out, wait, that's not even on his list. All right, we'll see if he talks about it. And then it turns out that there was a hospital in Nepal that in his video, it definitely looked CGI. Like, it made it look like he built an entire hospital from the ground up, when in actuality, that wasn't the case. There was, it's CGI edited out. It edited out the part of the hospital that was there before to make it look like it was very different. Yeah, so that's obviously very bad. Now, you could argue that it was a mistake in the editing that made it look like he did a much bigger deal than otherwise, but it should have probably been addressed and apologized for. See, here's the thing. I think a lot of these things that MrBeast is being accused for might truly be just mistakes on his part. But if they are mistakes, they should be acknowledged. It's the silence that's deafening. The reason why this has gone on for so long is because everyone's still waiting for MrBeast to respond to all this shit. And I'm sure he could knock off at least half the claims himself. So let's do our best to streamline and speed up MrBeast's actual eventual response to this shit. Which, there's no way for me to know if it will happen, but it's gonna happen. All right? So let's speed this timeline up and knock off the false claims so an actual response could come out for the real claims and see if they are legitimate or not.
So, throughout this video, you'll also see that there are multiple examples of him leaving out crucial details from evidence that would easily disprove the accusations he—
And again, the issue that I was mentioning earlier is the fact that if you see that MrBeast one philanthropy video is faked and it's not addressed that it was a mistake, it makes it look like who knows how many other philanthropy videos are faked, right? If MrBeast claims all his videos are real and then it turns out one of his videos was not real, who knows? Maybe all of them are fake. So I think that when a mistake is done, that is obviously misleading the audience into thinking that he built a hospital in Nepal when in actuality he just renovated it. He absolutely needs to make a mention that that was an error on our team's side. We are sorry. We're taking accountability for that. The rest is real, you know? Because if you don't say anything, then you wonder what else is doctored.
He's making, because Dawson loves framing things deceitfully to push his personal agenda.
Shopify dashboard. We just have like a random number generator, and then like we just put the number, like if there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks a number between 1 and 1,000, and then my people give me the name.
Wait a second, MrBeast is only picking out of the Shopify list? Well, does that mean he's only giving away to paid entries after all? No, you can be part of a Shopify giveaway without having to make any purchase whatsoever. These are some generic examples of how to enter Shopify giveaways for free on the official Shopify website. MrBeast scamming someone out of a lifetime of dog food?
Yeah, that was debunked. That's bullshit. The guy got his email sent to spam and he didn't know about it and he made a claim on Reddit. That's like a bullshit allegation.
And then tried silencing the so-called victim on Reddit?
As far as fake giveaways go, I'm sort of limited in what I can say without exposing confidential information and getting sued. So my official statement is that sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional. Here's one example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting MrBeast use them in a video. 5 months later, they still haven't received their dog food. I actually sent this post to someone who works at MrBeast, and they said they were going to send it to the PR team, and then the Reddit post got taken down. So I don't know if it got resolved.
Not true. Here is a message from the Reddit user stating MrBeast did reach out to them, as well as everyone else.
He just got it in his spam.
Apparently this user just hadn't noticed at first because the MrBeast company's email went to the user's spam folder.
Yep. Now, again, this one was debunked, I think, a while ago.
The issue got resolved, and then the Reddit post got deleted.
Yeah, so big surprise, eh? Alright, yeah, that's a bullshit allegation for sure, but we'll see where this goes.
Sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional.
Oh, the new Feastables formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey's?
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's, and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's.
True. He argued that Lunchly was healthier or some shit, and that's just processed trash, garbage, slop.
Luckily, it's just another lie. Dogback is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving size 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving size 60 grams Feastables bar. Instead of comparing it to a 1 serving size 35 grams Feastables bar. Well, if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey's.
Oh my god, wait a second, hold up, that's fucking crazy. But did he just not do the math? Oh my lord.
Again, to where it has.
Alright, so this one has 30 grams of sugar, 60% DV. This one's 25 grams, 50% DV. Wow, that's crazy. Shit, man.
Has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's.
Alright, let's just do the math. You know what? Fuck it.
Current calories than Hershey's?
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same.
Alright, we're just pulling out the calculator. Calculator. Alright, here we go, baby. Here we freaking go. Alright, so, this was 220 grams for 43... 220 calories for 43 grams. Alright, so that's 5 calories per gram. Alright, okay, alright, 5 calories per gram. And the other one is 330, right? 330? No, 320. The other one is 3... How do you delete on this fucking app? How do you delete on the app? Alright. 320 divided by 60. 5.3. It's still more. You did the math wrong. Wait. He did the math wrong. Hold up. What the fuck? Soggy Cereal did the math wrong, right? I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here. One second.
Formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey's.
MrBeast changed the
right.
formula again to where...
Okay, so this is 220 calories for 43 grams, okay? 220 calories for 43 grams. So 220 divided by 43 is 5.1. So it is 5 calories, 5.1 calories per gram, okay? And the other one is 320 divided by 60, which is 5.3. It's still technically more calories. It's still more calories. All right, so what does Soggy Cereal say here?
It has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
He was right about the more calories.
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's. Luckily, it's just another lie. Dogback is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving size 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving size 60 grams Feastables bar.
Okay.
Instead of comparing it to a 1 serving size 35 grams Feastables bar.
Okay.
Well, if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey's and actually
Okay, he's talking about sugar. He's not talking about calories.
has less calories than the
He's wrong.
previous formula.
Oh, it has less calories than the previous formula, but it still has more calories than the Hershey's. All right, I see. All right. Okay. So technically, again, I guess this argument is still up in the air. If he's arguing that he's claiming that it's a healthier alternative and it still has more calories than Hershey's, it's still up in the air. Again, I don't think this is the biggest fucking accusation against MrBeast. This isn't really such a big deal. But yeah, this one's sussy a little bit. I call cap.
This pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pits. You know what?
That's fucking gross, Dogpack. Why would you say the pit is fake if it's not fake? Stop making fake allegations. God damn it. It makes the real ones hit less hard.
Here's a crew.
And, dude, if Dogpack's strategy was to overwhelm MrBeast with allegations that he wouldn't be able to respond to the legitimate ones, well, it's scummy as fuck, but he succeeded. I think there's no way that could be real, right? Like, that would be super scummy. Unless he just wanted to destroy the beast.
Members footage of the 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train being in the pits after they drove them in there.
Shredder is CGI.
Nope, at this timestamp they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shredder.
Oh my god, dude, Dogpack, stop doing this!
But I will say that when they use CGI, it looks fucking terrible, as if it came straight out of a CW show.
This car is digitally lifted.
This car isn't digitally lifted.
Why would he say that? I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Wow, bro.
However, they did change the original red coloring to blue to make a visual distinction between the first rocket car they launched and failed, which was red, and the second one they launched, which succeeded, but was also red.
Ah, so they just changed the color. But it was not digitally lifted, right? Ultimately, the point of this video was to see if they could launch a car far enough. And they launched the car far enough. Recoloring the car is not violating the spirit of the video.
Because they were scared that both cars being red might confuse the audience, so in post, they just changed the second one's color to blue. But there was no digital lift.
Yeah, damn. Dogpack. What the fuck, man? You can't just lie in your videos. Physics aren't real. Physics are a paid actor. Quantum physics are fucking liars.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee, but the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
What evidence? You just said that this car is digitally lifted, and it literally wasn't digitally lifted. God damn.
But the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
This accusation of Dogback 404 actually upset this engineering YouTuber who passionately worked on that rocket car for months to get it working, just to have this goober claim that it's faked. But Dawson doesn't care about collateral damage done to others. He doesn't mind throwing people in front of non-CGI buses to push his own agenda. He did it with the rocket car YouTuber. He did it with that tricked employee's phone recording they showed without his consent. He tried doing it with me by calling me overdramatic, pressuring me into making a video accusing MrBeast.
Personally, I would find the MrBeast in-depth more intriguing. Yeah, but with all the uncertainty and refutability of specific proof now, this could put me in legal and financial trouble and ruin my entire channel, which I'm not looking forward to. Hey, I enjoy your content. I don't want to screw you over, which is why I'm being upfront about all this. However, I think you're being overdramatic, lol. It's not... Again, I think this is... Again, if I were devil's advocate, because I'm trying my best here, all right, to be on every side of this situation... Soggy Cereal is being overdramatic in this message, okay? Him making a video about MrBeast is not going to ruin his entire channel and put him in legal and financial risk. Bro, you just cover the situation as allegations if you want. Again, I have nothing but respect for you if you don't want to cover MrBeast, okay? No one has to cover shit that they don't want to cover, okay? Ultimately, YouTube is about making videos that you want to make, and that's it. I enjoy frolicking in the slop, okay? It's not going to destroy your legal and financial channel if you make a video about MrBeast. That said, he has every right to not make a video about MrBeast. Right?
With uncertain and refutable evidence, which by now I know to be untrue, which he doubled down on, by the way. Every other commentary YouTuber did it without getting sued, even though just because a lot—
Yeah, but that's because if what's his face, so Soggy Cereal could have just said, I'm not comfortable making this video because there is no, I am not comfortable making this video because I do not think that the evidence is legitimate enough. I think that that is a perfectly fine thing to say. But if you're going to make a statement, I could lose my entire channel and career over something like this, that is objectively dramatic. Okay? And Dogpack is going to try to convince you that you're not going to lose your channel and career. That is very different than the framing of, you know, he could have just said, I don't want to make this video because there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, that's perfectly reasonable and commendable.
A lot of YouTubers tried milking the situation and threw
That's me! I milked!
Substantiated, easily disprovable accusations out there for clout, views, and money without getting sued doesn't—
That's me! I'm milked! No, but I have tried my best to be as objective as possible. I was really happy to be out there talking about what seemed real and what seemed fake, and talking about if they were real, my opinions are X, and if they're not real, my opinions are Y. And I think that kind of gets shown a little bit. I mean, MrBeast, I think, also recognizes that I've tried to be objective, despite calling him Mr. Breast every single video. At least most videos I called him Mr. Breast. But anywho,
make it an okay thing to do, Dogpack? Or do you think it's acceptable to make false CP allegations?
This is the worst fucking thing that they ever did. I literally fell off the Dogpack train when this happened so hard. Again, I think that Dogpack really has to really work fucking hard to win back credibility after this one. I cannot believe he told the world that he had child porn, allegedly, when he didn't. That's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
Which, maybe I should talk about that for a second. See, in a recent video on Rosanna Pansino's channel, Dogpack404 claimed to have access to leaked work chat messages.
He's including the Rosanna videos, then he needs to include the fake philanthropy stuff. Like the Nepal hospital that was CGI.
With one of them being Ava Chris Tyson distributing alleged CP of Ivanka Trump. Except Dogpack doesn't always use the term alleged.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
And
uh-oh, didn't say allegedly. Ooh.
Also probably admitted to having downloaded that and censored alleged CP on a now deleted community post, and admits to having reverse image searched what he thought was CP in the video. Obviously, Dawson French himself was called out for owning and reverse image searching what he believed was fucking CP, because that is
crazy.
Weird, and the crimes
of CP are not protected under First Amendment rights and are illegal contraband under
nothing like weird and criminal activity.
Federal law. Legal definition of sexually explicit conduct does not require that an image depict a child engaging in a sexual activity. A picture of a naked child may constitute illegal CP.
So he deleted that community post to then lie about never having had the uncensored CP on someone else's YouTube video. Funny thing is that it only took 1 hour for people to find this tweet about that exact picture of 18-year-old Ivanka Trump being in a GQ magazine. It legitimately took 1 hour, 1 hour, to not falsely accuse someone of distributing CP.
It's like he constantly lies to get himself out of trouble, and only when he's run out of lies and in face of a serious trouble and he's run out of options does he reveal the truth. Then he tries to pull the LOL I said allegedly thing again. I said, as Ava alleges. I said, in my opinion. I said, may. I said, if.
Yeah, that is wild. That is wild. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Okay, so let me tell you an objective breakdown in my opinion, okay? Dogpack calling it child porn when it wasn't is fucking horrible. There is now an allegation going around that MrBeast is distributing child porn, and that is objectively false. That is factually and objectively false. That is the worst thing you can say about somebody, and it was a lie. He said allegedly most of the times he mentioned it, but it's a lie. That's the first thing that needs to be said. The second thing that needs to be said, Ava Chris Tyson posted an image that at the time they thought was child porn in a group chat. Now, this is a completely separate discussion. The discussion isn't now, did they ever possess CP? The question is, Ava Chris Tyson, fucking freak that she is, posted a picture that they thought was child porn in the group chat and said, lol, is this child porn? That's the reason why this is sussy-wussy. Mega freaking sussy-wussy. Can we acknowledge that? That's pretty weird? Even if it ended up being an 18-year-old, posting it thinking that it's a 13-year-old is still not kosher? Like, am I the only fucking idiot on the internet that thinks that that is just objectively true? Now, the question is, did MrBeast see that message, or did MrBeast know about that? We don't know! But there's a small army of explanations as to why MrBeast might have seen it, because there were just so many messages, but it might imply a habit that involves real CP if Chris Tyson is that comfortable to send in what ended up this time being not real CP. Again, no one knows. There's so much uncertainty. Dogpack, huge Dogpack L, fucking calling MrBeast distributing child porn when obviously that was fake. And on the MrBeast end, your best friend is in a group chat with you, sending what they thought was CP. So, yeah, this is kind of an L everywhere. This is just fucking awful.
The most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
So either Dogpack knew that it wasn't CP and made those false accusations.
If that is ever proven that he knew it wasn't CP and posted it anyway, I think he needs to get sued. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of abusing the legal system, but I think that that's honestly fucking true. If it's true that this was malicious and he knew somehow, if there is evidence somehow that he knew that it wasn't CP, that dude needs to get sued. But again, I'm not gonna jump and say that he probably didn't know. I think he just was terrible at doing research, and he was very happy to pull the trigger on some bullshit.
Anyways,
which again, not acceptable, but goddamn.
Or he's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go fucking idiot. That's my gut feeling.
Can't even use Google. But that wasn't the only lie in that video, was it, Dawson?
This isn't a work chat. This is just a small snapshot.
Yeah, and then it was proven that it's not even a work chat. God damn!
Of a company chat. But it's, I think, one of many. I've heard that there's other company chats that they communicate on.
Yes.
And
it wasn't a work chat.
It was a not safe for work meme chat, as it was proven later.
It was created as an NSFW meme chat.
Yeah, I literally fell off the Dogpack train when this happened. And unless something big happens, I ain't climbing back on. Again, I can acknowledge that MrBeast did shitty things and Dogpack did shitty things.
By already known degenerate Ava Chris Tyson. There's even examples of Ava getting mad whenever anyone talks about anything work-related.
This is just a small snapshot of a company chat. Small snapshot of a company chat.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee. But the evidence still speaks for itself.
However, at one point it was changed to a work chat by Ava, at which point she also kicked everyone unrelated out of there. But then the chat instantly died because obviously no one else, including Jimmy, wanted to use it as a work chat. Now, I will say that even though this image is confirmed not to be CP, Ava did seem to think...
Good job, Soggy Cereal. I'm so happy you're bringing this up, man. I'm so proud of you, brother. This is the major point here that a lot of people are missing on both sides.
It was at the time, and so this proves that she is even worse than we thought.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We knew Ava Chris Tyson. We thought they were a freak. Turns out they are worse than a freak. All right, so this is a big dub. I'm really glad he's mentioning this. This is huge.
And is a disgusting individual.
But the major question is how much MrBeast knew, right? So Ava Chris Tyson was buying Shadman art and posters and putting them on the wall, all right? You got fucking Ava Chris Tyson flirting and sending sexy sexual shit to children in the Discord. You got Ava Chris Tyson talking about not wanting to remove the Not Safe for Work Discord channel in the Discord with children. You got Ava Chris Tyson posting what they thought was child porn in a group chat. The question is, did MrBeast know the extent of her degeneracy or not?
However, the way Dogpack tried distributing what he believes was a picture of a sexually abused child to thousands of possibly child viewers wasn't to inform people of degenerate Ava Chris Tyson, but instead was to push his own agenda, framing MrBeast into allegedly knowing that Ava was a confirmed pedophile. It's so disgusting. See, I say framing because if you look at all of the messages around that image, it's a huge rant from not just Ava but other people as well about pedophiles exposed by the hacker group Anonymous in this Twitter thread she linked with that picture of Ivanka Trump. because it was in that Twitter thread, as well as a rant about Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire pedos, and I don't think context matters.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I don't think this is a good argument. I've heard this argument before. It's like, well, Ava Chris Tyson literally hates pedophiles, and this is, like, there's a whole thread of Ava Chris Tyson calling out how bad pedophiles are. That is not a defense, in my opinion. You're posting what you think is a 13-year-old in the chat, right? Yeah.
Here on Ava Tyson's side, I still think this is fucking disgusting. However, I do think context matters for the people perceiving Ava Chris Tyson's messages.
That I do get as well. From the perspective of someone knowing your friend posting this, I get that. But that's pretty shitty.
Sorry, but if I'd see my friend actively ranting about pedophiles and bashing them, I'd actively be convinced to not think they're a pedophile when they send degenerate memes like this.
Again, I think that this meme is nothing. When I reacted to this entire video, I said all these memes, yes, I'm asexual predator. Right, all this shit, this is garbage, obviously. Listen, if I had a friend in my chat that was ranting about how, oh god, I hate how Jeffrey Epstein's a pedophile and Diddy's allegedly a pedophile and I hate all that and here's some child porn, I would still find that pretty fucking weird. Okay? I would still find that pretty weird.
I just cringe on the inside while thinking that they have a degenerate sense of Zoomer humor. Even Trey Yates, the person who leaked the work chat to Dogpack and Rosanna, refers to those memes as a weird thing Ava found funny in the past, instead of confirmed pedophile message.
Obviously, the memes aren't what I'm talking about here. And even in my video covering this, I shat on how they tried to use edgy memes as proof of Ava's degeneracy. It's obviously bullshit.
A lot of the edgy type of content and a lot of the edgy cringeworthy humor started with Ava. Like, she sent a bunch of messages that probably shouldn't have been sent in a work group chat just because she thought it was funny at the time.
So even he, who actively dislikes MrBeast, didn't even know.
It's bad, not just weird. What's bad, not just weird? The asexual predator meme? No, I think that's just weird. Sorry, I think that's just terrible, weird, overly edgy, bullshit, garbage, crap humor. I don't think it necessarily paints any picture. Sorry, it's a shitty meme, and I'm not defending the shittiness of the meme, but it's a shitty meme.
So with all this
posting something that you thought was a 13-year-old girl being abused, and you post a picture of that in the group chat, yeah, that's fucking awful. And good luck trying to defend that one to me.
I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
But Soggy, Rosanna Pansino and Dogpack 404 reported Jimmy Beast to the FBI, so he's gotta be a pedophile. I think people vastly underestimate just how easy you can report someone to the FBI.
Yeah, that also, it's just a slimy tactic to say, I reported someone to the FBI as like a proof that your allegation is real.
Even as a non-American citizen myself, I just created this entire forum of Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, distributing CP in 2 minutes on tips.fbi.gov, which I will now submit to the FBI. Soggy Serial reported Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French to the FBI? Holy shit, they've gotta be guilty now. See what I did there? Also, I didn't submit this because unlike 2 other creators, I'd rather not waste the FBI's time from finding actual CP distributors to push.
Oh my god, no!
Just selfish, manipulative, and
yeah, they have squirrels to kill, goddammit. They don't have time for child predators.
Personal agenda and manipulating Rosanna Pansino so you could use her bigger channel to spread this disinformation.
I don't like this at all. I don't like this framing, man. Rosanna Pansino is a what do they call it? An empowered, powerful young woman that has the ability to make her decisions, and she don't need no man. You cannot take any blame away from Rosanna Pansino because she was manipulated by Dogpack. Again, I'm not saying that she did any of these things that Dogpack is doing, right? This is obviously different. I think Dogpack showing her how Ava posted child porn or whatever, or allegedly child porn, is very different than her condoning this investigation that he did.
Information is so vile. Look, I knew you were petty.
She's an independent young woman, okay? Don't take all the agency out of her, bro.
Dawson, but I never expected you to stoop this low. He also tried dragging the famous anime Higehiro and its fandom through the mud by saying it's about a 26-year-old having a romantic relationship with a minor.
Let's see if Jimmy knew about Ava's concerning behavior. June of 2021, he sends a message of an anime called Higehiro. It says, I bet Chris would love this show.
What's this show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because the show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway.
Jimmy in the chats is saying, I bet Chris would love this show because it's right up her alley.
Why do you think Chris would love that show, Jimmy?
And it turns out that it vastly mischaracterized what the show is actually about.
MrBeast saying Ava would love this? Even though the anime is about the exact opposite.
He posted that one thing about the anime with the, like, adult getting into a relationship with a...
That's okay. Here's the thing. That's a lie. That is such a bullshit lie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
He literally said...
No.
He literally said, I think Chris would like this. Why would he say that, though?
No, the context of that anime, that show is about a 26-year-old guy, okay? He takes in this runaway girl who is selling herself to prostitution. She's like 17 or whatever, 16. I don't remember. She's 17, 16. She's selling her body because she ran away from home because some other shit happened. And I remember this because my friend tried showing this to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It turned out it was actually a very wholesome show about this dude kind of teaching her like how to get through like all this trauma that she had in her life. There was never any romantic intentions there. Yeah. Sure, if you...
It was a romantic... it wasn't a romantic story between these characters. It was like a father-daughter relationship. How can you possibly compare that to how he framed it?
Watch the anime. In the first episode, the girl was coming on to him, but the guy rejected her and saw her as a daughter. That whole show, he had a whole nother love interest in that show this whole time. This was never about the dude getting into a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old.
You guys actively pissed off the entire anime side of Twitter with this one. So this again more so proves Jimmy didn't know.
So with all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
Want to know the worst of all? Dogbat and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture
in the thumbnail
as clickbait for their fucking thumbnail.
Yeah, this was wildly... Listen, I have done a lot of tasteless shit, okay, in the past, and I regret a lot of my old thumbnails, for sure, that I used for, like, shock humor. Even I didn't use this in my thumbnail. Oh my god!
They even AP tested 3 versions of it. You know, just trying to get some more views by putting alleged CP in your quirky thumbnails. Will the allegedly abused child garner more views with a red background or the pink background?
Damn.
Following their logic, they are now both confirmed pedophiles and should have 100% known that of one another. I can't, dude. I can't.
Yeah, this was easily the worst allegation against MrBeast. The most debunked shit.
In this video, where they do all this, a dogback dares to try and invalidate my past accusations that his video IDs he came up with while working at MrBeast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. Like, maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for vasectomies and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
With a thumbnail and title like these? Oh, wait. If this wasn't supposed to be creepy or weird, then why did you make sure to blur the title and thumbnail when showing it on screen? Don't be shy. I still got the sharp version. Oh, was it because 4 objectified headless pairs of boobs with the MrBeast clickbait face and the title, I bought 1,000 boobs, wasn't in line with your... Another weird creep agenda you were trying to push? Yeah, this, it's about cancer awareness message seems more like you realizing your manager didn't think that joke objectifying women was, funny, and you...
Bro, dude, oh my god. Again, this isn't proving, I think, anything, but it is definitely funny.
And desperately trying to save your own skin by, you know, using cancer, especially when you...
I mean, I do believe that it was about cancer all along. He's not gonna suggest a video to MrBeast's, you know, 1,000 boobs video. I think it probably was always about the cancer awareness thing during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Also sent in these work IDs, such as Baby Battle Royale with babies carrying assault rifles.
Okay, again, listen, the fact that he's pitching bad ideas does not necessarily prove anything, because I do think taking children and putting them in a Battle Royale setting isn't necessarily bad content. I mean, don't you want to see children with assault rifles going at each other? I'm just saying, that's a classic MrBeast video right there. I put 100 children in a circle and gave them assault weapons. Like, that literally sounds like a MrBeast video.
Or MrBeast does every drug chat.
Okay, wow, holy shit. MrBeast does every drug. Okay, that's obviously a fucking terrible idea. What the fuck? Wait, take every drug, Lamau. Oh my lord. Yeah, that's obviously bad. But again, it's a shitty joke.
Challenge? Were those also for Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Also, didn't you say that MrBeast is mainly targeted toward kids?
Encouraging like almost children simping for these people. I would say he's gained most of his audience since then, and his content's only gotten younger. Now, MrBeast
Yeah, so obviously doing every drug challenge is not a good idea.
intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds.
What happened to that claim? Look, I expected them at the end of the video to say that it was some twisted parody. But nope, they seemed pretty proud of their slanderous content where they admitted to committing multiple alleged federal crimes. So, same time next week? But his collateral damage doesn't end with allegedly abused children. He also uses old people. For example, he tried using Contestant 58 from the ages 1 to 100 video by claiming that he didn't really wink.
In this video, this wink
That is insane.
was added in post.
And
that is insane! It's insane that he would make that allegation if it's not true, but also MrBeast adds a lot of shit in post. Like, we have covered MrBeast videos where we have absolutely seen him add voice lines and shit in post. So, that definitely happens, but this is not a real allegation, alright? You're proof that he said that he added a wink in post?
Number 58 didn't hear number 42 getting out of the booth.
In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him.
And because of that, number 58, a 58-year-old man, was so confused and getting harassed online to the point he felt that he had to make a TikTok about it.
Oh my god. This dude got harassed because they said the wink was fake. I can't believe this shit.
Hey guys, Mr. 58. Been a while since I've posted anything, but something's really been concerning me a little bit. I've been seeing things on the internet that have said I didn't wink in the MrBeast video 1 to 100. I did wink. I winked a few times, as a matter of fact. The other thing that's been said is I didn't hear 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. Yes, I heard 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. I did it on my own accord to step out with 2 seconds left on the clock. I know of nothing in that video that was staged whatsoever, and I don't know why these rumors are going over the internet that these things didn't happen. Everything that I did in that video, and nothing was edited after the fact. Everybody be good and have a great day.
Dog pack! Wow, that is awful! He's trying to prove MrBeast's challenges are rigged and fake and shit because he's claiming that this one old guy winked, so therefore you prove that's... Why did he make these fucking claims? Dude, so many of the claims against MrBeast are like such bullshit. At this point, I don't trust a single one of the fraud claims against MrBeast videos, like in regards to just faking shit. Aside from adding stuff in post.
This is just sad. I actually got
like, bro, this poor 58-year-old man needs to really come out here and make a TikTok because he was getting harassed online by a bunch of fucking idiots.
And seeing this old sweet guy
And the thing is, all the small claims, they keep adding up. I want MrBeast to respond to the big allegations, but it's really hard to make a video responding to allegations when there's 1,000 bullshit ones.
So upset? And what was Dogpack's proof for these claims? Well, I've got to preview the 1 to 100 video once, so now you've got to believe every baseless claim I make around it. Because you're so trustworthy, Dawson. I'd rather believe the sweet old guy who literally was in the video.
Everybody be good and have a great day.
He did it with Mark Bates, a random subscriber contestant.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million. I literally was in this video right here, and all I did was subscribe. I had no relation with MrBeast or anything like that. And they flew me down to North Carolina. I live in Cleveland, and changed my life forever. Literally. All I did was subscribe.
Who won $1 million and then made a video after winning that prize, which Dogpack just took a very out of context clip from.
Another example of things slipping through the cracks.
The second thing that I probably would do different is invest. I talked to Jimmy after I won $1 million, after I finally got the remaining amount in my bank account. I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be like how everybody's saying, like I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So.
Oh no, he didn't invest for me. That is, yeah. I remember when I originally reacted to the first allegation against about this specifically. I said, technically, would it have been nice for MrBeast to teach him how to invest this $1 million so that he basically stays set for life? Yes, that would be very, very nice of MrBeast. Does he have to do that? No, not at all. As long as it's made completely clear to the contestants that this is what's going to be happening and this is what you're going to be doing with the money and shit, I don't see anything wrong with this. Technically, if MrBeast wants to keep using it for content. The guy did get $1 million, and $1 million worth of shit. Yes, it would have been really, really nice if MrBeast would have actually helped him invest it to be good for him, but that was never part of the deal, and he doesn't have an obligation to do that. So, again, Yeah, this is a bit slimy.
Mark! Oh wait, what's this clip right after? Which Dogpack conveniently didn't put in his video?
That's but yeah, that didn't happen. So yeah, and let me clarify. Jimmy did help me.
No way. No way Dogpack cut that.
Cause I know, like I said, I know y'all be like,
oh, he didn't help him enough.
He did help me financially, but like giving me money he did give me funds.
Oh, so MrBeast still funded Mark even after winning and spending the $1 million? Okay. Apparently they just had him on a monthly salary at the MrBeast company without him having to perform any work there.
Oh my god! That's awful. That is undoubtedly awful.
This guy's a victim. Mark Pate himself was so fucking frustrated from Dogpack using this out of context clip to push his personal agenda that he made 2 more videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from Dogpack's followers.
Channel everywhere. You guys been saying that I'm a victim of MrBeast and that he didn't help me. You've been talking about everything. It's not my story, so I really wanted to get up here and tell you guys that MrBeast really did come through for me, Jimmy. I love you.
Dogpack doesn't give a shit about who or what he uses or whose life he ruins just to push his own narrative, and it's fucking disgusting.
God damn.
Showing out of context clip.
God damn. I have to say, I am floored. I am floored by the incredibly, seemingly malicious taking out of context and framing in order to put MrBeast into the dirt. Again, I think there are still 5 big allegations against MrBeast. Like, I know that he technically crossed off the Delaware nickname thing, but I'm still not satisfied with the Delaware situation at all, and I do think it still needs to be addressed. But aside from that, dog food scam, FBI report, illegal lottery number 3, like, these are bullshit.
Clips and snippets is something that Dogpack does a lot, by the way. He also did it with Mac when MrBeast asked him what he was gonna do with the $800,000.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. I thought that was a pretty good big point of Dogpack's.
First he won.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, and they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore. I mean, my life's changed now.
Oh wow, he's gonna give it to his 3 less fortunate friends? Well, that is so kind. Let's see what Dawson made of this.
Bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really gonna change your life.
Oh, he got that whole part out.
Yeah, he definitely made that look scummier than he needed to, for sure. But again, the major, broader point here he has about Mac is that Mac was a secret employee, and they made believe that he they made believe he was a random subscriber guy, challenge dude, but when he was actually a secret employee. That was the claim that he made. So I'm ready to see this one.
To insinuate
bad thing doesn't discredit the good thing and vice versa. I completely agree. It's like calling MrBeast evil and therefore his charity is all worthless is stupid. All of his charity is obviously good. Now, just because he's done charity, though, it's not a defense for other things that he's done. Like, I feel like people are so brain dead and one note on these topics.
Mac was gonna spend it on more bathrooms in his huge mansion that he didn't even have.
Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
See, I saw the actual property listing and, well, obviously I can't show this, so you've got to trust me on my word. But the house is on the name of another editor at MrBeast, which Mac was sleeping over at because he himself didn't have a house.
Ah! Oh my god, what a malicious way to frame it. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Oh my lord, holy shit, that's crazy. Again, there are a lot of things. Oh dude, Beast Games isn't on this board either. All right, we gotta wait for that one to come out. Ooh shit. Dude, there's so much context and info that I feel like is missing from the world. And that was one of them.
But Soggy, didn't you expose Mac for being a liar? Why are you now picking his side? I don't pick sides, nor do I just blindly hate every person I criticize.
See, I am very different. I do pick sides, and I blindly hate everyone. I hate you until proven otherwise, okay? We are very different, you and I. But goddamn, I'm a little peeved and pissed at the amount of misinformation that was so blatantly put out there.
Am I a disgruntled employee acting like a toddler? Mac left Iraq after all. And by the way, I've never seen Mac try and use fake CP to push a personal agenda. Also,
okay, that's wild. That's wild.
Take that clip from my video out of yours, because now you're using my content to push your lies.
So over the next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
How is this legal? I don't get it. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel.
All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe.
It's a scam. Holy shit.
The Samsung giveaway was legit. Here you can see all testimonies from random subscribers.
Wow.
Who won and got contacted by MrBeast.
Wow.
Also, PewDiePie never bashed that clip. It's just an...
No, that was an that was just a PewDiePie clip talking about how he hates the giveaway shit. Yeah, no.
Another example of Dogbag's manipulative editing.
I don't think this was manipulative editing. I just think that this was a classic example of PewDiePie bashing the giveaways. Like if you subscribe, you have a chance of winning a PlayStation! Right? Like that whole meme. That's what PewDiePie was criticizing at this point.
Now, even though we've only touched the tip of the lies of Dogbag iceberg so far, I preemptively want to ask Dawson, why would you knowingly spread all of this disinformation?
Fantastic question.
Now, Dogbag, something you really shouldn't say because it would make you look real dumb, is either...
He mentioned the fact that he is not a professional journalist or investigator, just a guy throwing allegations around for other people to properly investigate.
As you did in a desperate attempt to save the little credibility you had left after falsely accusing someone of domestic violence.
Yep, that was awful. Absolutely awful. And I called him out for this one too. Yep. At this point, I just thought it was negligence, not maliciousness, but goddamn.
And kicking their dog in your third video. Because this is what you said in your first video, which I'm also disproving.
And I don't want to put a lot of like hearsay into this video. You should just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
Well, I've looked at the receipts, Dawson, and so far they're telling me that you're a lying asshole. And before you try and defend yourself with plausible deniability, I'll just play this clip.
MrBeast knows this, but you know, he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Also, me disproving cheap attempts at slander from this guy doesn't mean I'm defending this guy. I know a lot of people believe in the delusion that defending MrBeast is the safe option.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not true. See, again, I'm glad he's making this point as well. Because just because I am making a video debunking all the false allegations of MrBeast right now, literally right now, that doesn't mean that I'm defending everything MrBeast has ever done either. I still think Lunchly is shit and Feastables is shit and his toy line is shit. I still think that the hiring pedophile thing is not squared away, even though it got a little X mark on the thingy. Got a little X mark on his on Mr. Saga Serial's chart. I don't think that's squared away. I think the Ava Tyson thing needs to be investigated. I think Beast Games' lawsuit needs to be explored before allegations are made. Again, there is information that is not out regarding that lawsuit that I don't know because no one knows it because it's not out because it was just a lawsuit. But I would wait for more information on that lawsuit specifically before pointing fingers anywhere because that lawsuit seems pretty shady for reasons that that will be revealed in time. So moving on.
I know there's people have been living under a rock lately, but defending MrBeast right now is actual career suicide. While regurgitating Dogbag's lies is the easy and safe way to generate millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in my opinion, blindly taking either side should be heavily frowned upon. Because
true. You see, I am an equal opportunity piece of shit. I literally defecate on the mouths of every party. This is how I've lived my life thus far, and it is how I will continue to live, ladies and gentlemen. You open your mouth, and I will deliver the defecation. Yes, we sling shit fling everywhere.
There are some very questionable and fucked up decisions MrBeast has made that he needs to be held accountable for. And I'll get to that. However, to effectively criticize him, help genuine victims, and hold him morally and legally accountable, we must first clear the table of all of the lies that have been spread by Dawson.
100%. The public narrative needs to only be focusing on like the 5 genuine allegations until that, so that they can properly be dealt with. Either they're legitimate accusations, in which case he needs to absolutely apologize, or they're illegitimate and he needs to respond and explain it. But ultimately, it comes down to like 5 big problems and like a lot of shit that you have to swim through.
French, aka Dogbag404, such as the lie of Feastables using child slavery. It takes a single Google search to find several public articles to prove that from October 2023, the same time when they took their slave-free banner off of the Feastables website, they've been in talks to join Tony Chocolonely's Open Chain Ethical Sourcing Initiative, and did so officially from March 2024, which if you don't know, Tony Chocolonely's is a Dutch chocolate brand known for their goal to produce chocolate as ethically as possible, and one of few companies legitimately doing so. And now Feastables is the first major US-based company who joined them with a goal to actively reduce child labor and slavery in the chocolate production process.
Bro just cooked. He cooked. It's over. He debunked the fucking Feastables slave allegations. But the thing is, he wasn't able to say anything. MrBeast didn't say anything publicly. Ah, fuck, man. Because they removed it from the website. It obviously looks really bad. But, yep, debunked. It's over. It's over. This is why you can't believe lies on the internet. This is why you gotta be a fucking cynical asshole where you just look at everything on the internet as if it's only potentially half true.
But then, why they take slavery banner off of Feastables' website? Well, dear Dogbag, already typing that question up on Twitter, you can literally read the answer on the Tony Chocoloni's website. Why did you make the switch from slave-free to exploitation-free? We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one issue in the cocoa industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too. Our mission statement needs to be inclusive of all the work we do today, from addressing multi-dimensional poverty to remediating child labor and everything in between.
Yep, cooked. That's over. That's closed and shut. Holy shit. Debunked the slave allegations. Yikers. At least from what I see so far with the Tony Chocoloni shit, alright? I didn't actually do the research myself, but based on what he's showing, yep, debunked. Holy freaking shit. That is huge. That is so huge.
Wow! It took one Google search to not falsely accuse someone of using child slavery? Yes. For the people who don't know, Dogbag did falsely accuse someone of DV and AB.
MrBeast, Dogpack404, put out his third video, MrBeast's Secret CEO.
Yeah, that was an awful video. I remember we got into that.
In which she was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, MrBeast.
I mean, you don't know how innocent, because I think there was another allegation about him that he was part of a Ponzi scheme, where he Ponzi schemed old women, allegedly, and I don't know if that was ever debunked, but the domestic violence thing was debunked, and it was a huge, gross negligence of Dogpack to post this.
Cousin of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him, and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging
I think it's down now.
Him to take it down. Disclaimer, he took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that one's still up. Holy shit. Rosanna, bro.
To made life ruining allegations against Lokoya Hill, who was the person that made the decision to fire Dogpack. Here's another.
Yeah. Lokoya Hill, let me just say that apparently there's a lot more to the Lokoya Hill story than is publicly available right now. So we're just going to put a pin in that one, question mark, and when all that information is revealed, I am pretty sure things might be looking differently. Not that I would know. It's not like I have any inside sources or anything. All right, no, but apparently this
audio clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm a lawyer. I'm our COO. Part of my job is you're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And I'm telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of it.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance? Just, if I'm getting paid, just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Hoodie changes his mind, can I? I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time.
I wonder why he's trying to destroy Lokoya's life.
Well, the allegations against Lokoya Hill was that let me just make it clear here. The allegations against him was that he was on the MrBeast team and he allegedly sexually assaulted / harassed a 18-year-old dude that is in the MrBeast company that, like, he rented a room with them with only one bed and, like, had them try to sleep together, like, apparently, and then instead of him getting fired, it was acknowledged that he did something awful, and he instead of firing Lokoya Hill, allegedly, he moved him to a different MrBeast company to run instead of getting rid of an alleged sexual harasser guy. That was the claim that was made. Apparently, there's a lot more context. I'm just saying that because I just making it up off the top of my head without leaking anything. But apparently, this situation is not as bad as it's been made seem. Or it is. Who knows? There's no one that knows in this call. Let's keep doing. Before I say something that I'm going to regret.
I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what I have to do.
Or Doc Scara.
Choose your hiring manager.
Or put a picture of his manager on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite. Coincidentally, all 3 of those people were in the room when Dogpack was fired.
I'm our COO.
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA.
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge. Yes.
I mean, of course. I just try to be honest, I guess.
What is selfless hero? You know, a selfless hero who, whenever he can, mentions that he didn't make these slanders.
Okay, I don't think it's fair that Soggy Cereal didn't specifically mention what the Lakoya Hill allegations are. I do think you should have mentioned it, but I feel like there might be a way to explain that situation in a different light. I don't know. I personally don't know, but there might be. So let's keep our brains and eyes open for a potential explanation for that in the future. That might happen.
His videos with any personal gain in mind.
That's like the whole point of this is the video's not monetized. It's on a new account.
Wait, what do you mean that's the whole point? You didn't say that.
Like, you know, in the description of my video, it says, or in the intro too, it says this is not monetized. Because if it's monetized, then people think I'm just doing it for clout and money.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
This is textbook manipulation.
I wouldn't say that him not monetizing his videos is manipulation, per se. I just think that he didn't expect it to blow up as big as it did. I thought he would. I think that he thought that his video would only get a couple of thousand views. And because of that, he didn't think he was really going to make money on it. So since I think that he didn't think that he was going to make money on the video, he just didn't monetize the video because he didn't think he was going to make money anyway. And then he was able to say this video is not monetized. That's my guess, personally. I think most explanations are just, bro is a dumbass. I think that applies to both Dogpack and MrBeast. But there are clearly some malicious instances here that is fucking horrible. Horrible.
Saying he's not gaining anything out of these videos is extremely deceptive. He gained 700,000 loyal subscribers, collaborations with huge creators which he's clearly trying to abuse, and it's all built on lies, deceit, and manipulation. If there is one person who gained anything from all this, it's Dogpack. And purely out of principle, I'm putting a mid-roll ad here. Here, Dogpack.
Well, my video's monetized too. Yeah, that's right, baby.
It's about how MrBeast scammed.
We got a breast to milk, all right?
Everyone by having people pay to get their memes sent to the moon, the rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch, just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about a second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company MrBeast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships and our ability to secure additional missions in the future, as Robotic already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission for NASA later this year. And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Side note, here Dogpack also uses another very manipulative tactic where he shows this stinky dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission.
Yo.
While in reality,
I just thought that was like stock footage. Wait, it's true. I could so see people legitimately thinking that that was MrBeast's rocket.
The actual spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high-quality Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
Vulcan rocket, launching a new era in spaceflight to the moon and beyond.
Stinky dinky rocket, high-quality spacecraft carrying the hard drive with memes from MrBeast.
Yeah, damn, that is valid. That is valid. Again, the reason why I don't think anyone took this seriously, that this was MrBeast's rocket, is because like there's Japanese writing on the top. Like, why would MrBeast's rocket have a Japanese broadcast writing on the top over here? So I think him using stock footage of a rocket is not necessarily, yeah.
Manipulation, reality. But Soggy, what about the insider knowledge he has from working there?
In my opinion, as somebody who worked for MrBeast,
it has been proven time and time again, he only worked there for 20 workdays. As a new employee in like a 250 to 300 employee company, you're not gonna get much credible insider knowledge in 20 days. But
I don't think insider knowledge that he can't prove is worth anything. Again, I am very much into the whole receipts thing, not so much into the hearsay thing. So just like, you know, I had a conversation with MrBeast, and there are some things that he told and explained to me where he didn't necessarily have 100% evidence for the things he was saying. He just kind of explained it to me. And again, until there's evidence, and there should be evidence on one side or another, I want to see it. And if there's no, or at least a denial of certain allegations. But on the Dogpack side, same thing. you're gonna make a claim without evidence and just say, trust me, bro, I'm not necessarily gonna trust you, bro.
Also had anonymous text messages from ex-MrBeast employees. Well, see, I have two notes on that. One is that I feel like anonymous text messages can be used as tangible proof if either you have the receipts to back them up, or you as a person can be trusted to not have faked or manipulated them. Which, I don't think we can trust Dawson on that one. And two, even if those messages are from legitimate ex-MrBeast employees, they're wrong. This text, for example, which Dogpack uses as a foundation for MrBeast rigging his challenges, according to them, after a shift change in the 100 Boys v Girls video, no girls were eliminated when closing off their circles, so it was pretty much rigged. They think? Okay, love the lack of confidence in their own claim.
Alright, let's debunk this one, maybe, question mark, because this one seemed rigged to me.
And the lack of confidence makes sense, because if you simply watch the 100 Girls v Boys video,
I had a whole argument about this one specifically. Like, it's funny. About this one specifically, I had a whole argument.
You can clearly see a girl got eliminated during that part of the challenge. And in this behind the scenes video, you can even see how many cameras they had to make sure the challenge wasn't rigged.
So we could constantly monitor it. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show. We had to have 6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle, because if they just touch the red line, they're out.
He also used this video as a prime example of MrBeast never using random subscribers, even though multiple—
Yeah, apparently that was because of COVID. Some people had to fall out and he replaced them last minute.
People who can be identified by their nameplates can be proven to be random, non-influencer contestants from outside of North Carolina.
They are never random subscribers.
Yeah, that is an obvious and terrible thing for him to say. For him to say that they're never random subscribers was terribly misleading.
You subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Yeah, Dawson. Because they were filling in for contestants who had COVID at the time. You can see MrBeast's girlfriend publicly
she talked about that on a podcast. I saw this.
About this in a podcast from years ago, by the way.
I saw on your Twitter that you were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes, that was an accident. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive. And the girls somehow ended up with way too little contestants. So I got a call randomly from the studio, and they're like, we need a female.
What, you wanted them to let contestants—
We need a female! It's pretty sexist, not gonna lie. That's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up, MrBeast. Needing females like that? Ooh, yeah, you're cringe.
With COVID participate in the challenge? And in this podcast, she also says that the contestants were informed beforehand that even if they lost, they'd still receive the $5,000 prize money.
Which was the plot twist. Even if you leave, you get to keep the $5,000, which makes it easier for people to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So the goal was, it was sort of a psychological test, really.
And people know that if they left, that they would still win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the big plot twist, which I'm a huge fan of.
So not only were you wrong on all accounts, this is probably the worst video you could have possibly tried building your case on. That
See, but here's the thing. The reason why I think this video was rigged is because he offered money to the boy that was doing the Rubik's Cubes to leave. Right? There was a challenge where they both boys and the girls tried to do Rubik's Cubes, and the boy was doing a Rubik's Cube, and he was, you know, shuffling up all the colors and shit, and he was really good at it. So MrBeast literally paid him off to leave. And then the boys were left without a Rubik's Cube solver. I think they still won that challenge, but it is irrelevant. He literally paid off their best contestant to leave. That is rigging it. That maybe it's not rigging the entire challenge. Maybe it's not changing the course of history, but it is definitely decreasing the boys' chances by even 1%. That is still technically some form of rigging. So that's one thing that I thought about on this video. And also, when it comes to rigged videos, again, I don't think this is the biggest deal in the world. I actually, I said this to MrBeast. I said, MrBeast. I didn't call him MrBeast, but I said Jimmy. Just say the videos are slightly rigged for excitement purposes. No one will give a shit. But anyway, let's not get into private stuff.
MrBeast challenges are rigged, and then your only other example of this accusation is the in 10 minutes.
He skipped the Rubik's Cube part. Soggy Cereal, there was the Rubik's Cube part in that last video where he kicked off a challenger, and in my opinion, that was still kind of rigged. Do I think it's a big deal? No. Do I think that's one of the major allegations against MrBeast? No. Do I think that's bullshit? No. I think that was a slight pushing the needle on the fucking barometer towards one side. Even if you're only changing the odds by 1% still. Now, apparently there might have been a behind-the-scenes deal with one of the female contestants offering her the $1,000 or whatever it was to leave the video as well, in which case it would be even, but that wasn't in the video, so none of us really know what actually happened, question mark, and it would really be nice if that was explored and explained. But who knows?
This room will explode video.
I want to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. And the timer is clearly added in post.
Okay, this is just getting embarrassing.
The timer's not added in post. They might have changed it, but the timer's there.
At this point, but you sent me this picture, Dawson, to seem more credible by proving you were on the set of a video. And if you look real closely at the picture that you took, you'll notice that it's a set from the 10-minute video, where you can see that the timer was in fact not added in post.
So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
Assume my ass. You didn't assume shit, you're breaking your NDA by spreading confidential info you knew from being on that set.
So A, huge Dogpack L releasing private info, that's fucking awful. B, that doesn't disprove the fact that the video is slightly rigged, right?
And yes, I do give permission to anyone whose life got damaged by Dawson French to use my video against him in court.
The producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close.
No, they did it for safety, as to not...
But again, that doesn't necessarily... Again, you're kind of muddying the waters here on both sides. One, you're right. It's fucking awful that Dogpack claimed that this was fake just purely for hype reasons, when it was fake because of safety reasons. But in my opinion, something being faked for safety reasons is still faked and should not be promoted as real. Same with the raft situation, which I imagine he's going to get to in a minute. But that said, it's not as bad as Dawson made it look, but it's still technically slightly rigged.
Force someone to exert extreme force trying to turn valves.
You're right. You shouldn't be underwater being forced to turn the tight valves to let the water go through. So of course the water was operated in a different way. You make a fantastic point. But that doesn't mean that, but so it was fake. For good reason. See, I'm not saying that he shouldn't fake his videos. I just don't think you should go around talking about how nothing is fake, it is all real, up front, everything you see is how it is. See, so again, on the one hand, this is not a genuine allegation because who fucking cares? But on the other hand, yeah, you got my idea.
Underwater in a room submerged in water. Just like they replaced contestants who had COVID with employees because for safety reasons. A thing you so vehemently claim they lack at the company. Same with this video, where a safety team forced the MrBeast crew off of their raft in the 7 Days Stranded at Sea video for about an hour because of this dangerous lightning storm. Wait, what was it you said?
I'm glad he's bringing this one up because I have a hot take.
Again, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But you didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
Oh yeah. You lied about them allegedly sleeping on a luxurious production yacht. No, they were forced to stay on a rusty barge for about an hour for their own safety and went back on their raft as soon as a life-threatening lightning storm passed.
So, there is behind-the-scenes footage of this video that actually proves that it was a barge, not a yacht. Dawson lied. When Dawson said that they spent the night on their luxurious yacht, that was an absolute lie. However, it is important to recognize that they failed their challenge of spending 7 days on a boat, right? This video is 7 days stranded on sea, 7 days stuck on the raft where they make believe they never got off the raft. They did. Now, should they have gotten off the raft? Absolutely. For safety reasons, they needed to get off the raft, but that should have been included in the video. Now, I think that these are shades of gray that I feel like every side is not willing to say. On the one hand, Soggy Cereal is right. Dawson lied about them leaving for nights to be on a luxury boat yacht instead of on the raft. On the one hand, that is a lie on Dogpack's part. On the other hand, it is true that they left the raft when they claim from the video that they were on the raft the entire time. They left because of safety reasons from a lightning storm on a rusty barge, but they left the raft. So it should have been included in the video that they left, or at least a disclaimer or something should have been made that they didn't stay the whole time. There is that shade of gray. Now, I'm arguing this case passionately, but realistically, this is not an important allegation. I don't give a shit about this, right? It's all, it's about the pedophiles and shit. But you're right. Dawson definitely framed this in a much worse way than it actually was. Dawson framed it from the perspective as it looked like MrBeast planned on spending his nights on a luxury yacht instead of on the raft, when that is obviously not true. So yes, I do think this was terrible framing. However, MrBeast should have included that he left the yacht.
And here is video proof from the rusty barge.
And I will not release any private information that I may have and hope that it comes to light in other ways. Yeah.
Wow, what a luxurious yacht. Now you can still argue about the fact that they went off of the raft, but...
Yes, sir!
I don't think it's faking a challenge when you're forced by your safety team to leave your raft once to get on a rusty barge for about an hour to sit out a life-threatening lightning storm.
So I would argue that it is failing the challenge, and I don't think that's a problem. I think he should have said in his video, we failed the challenge because of a lightning storm. And people would have still watched it, they would have still liked it. Disclaimer, we had to leave because of a lightning storm. I think that that's perfectly legitimate, but don't frame it that you were on the boat for 7 days when you weren't on the boat for 7 days. Again, I think that that is perfectly valid on all sides.
To then get back on the raft as soon as possible, it's making sure people don't die. On one side,
you're right. They should have left the raft. They shouldn't have died for their video. I agree with you.
You're preaching, the MrBeast company isn't safe enough. Wow. But then you use every single example of them actually implementing safety protocols against them as if they're doing it to rig challenges or not always use random subscribers. Do I really have to explain why they don't use complete strangers in challenges that include a man and a woman having to stay together in a small enclosed space for 100 days?
You're right. I think it would be terrible if they left them in a super enclosed space for 100 days. Which is why I wouldn't have called them random subscribers. I feel like we're literally dancing in circles here. Like, I agree that all these safety protocols should have been taken, but they shouldn't be framed as if all these things are real and the safety protocols didn't happen, right? Don't say it's 100 random subscribers when in actuality it's 90 random subscribers and 10 employees that are filling in. Just say that there are 100 people at that point, in my opinion. You know? But I could be wrong. Like, this is nitpicking for sure. But it's just for the sake of accuracy.
Pick a side, Dawson. Do you want them to fucking die for a challenge? Or do you want them to be saved? Guess what?
Or just say what happened. Like, I feel like there is that middle area.
24 people in a circle for $1 million video didn't get published, which Dawson insinuates was some elaborate scheme to force more people to buy shirts, and then they'd run away with a profit.
We're gonna have 24 people, we're gonna put them in 24 different circles, $1 million on the line, have some fun, you know what I'm saying?
Also, this video never happened. There is no MrBeast video of 24 people in circles competing for $1 million. So, like, did they just pocket the money or what?
Okay, that's an interesting hypothesis.
Again, it was because of peak COVID. And this time, I'll let the contestant who took part in that 24 people in a circle for $1 million challenge explain what happened. I've heard that you were in the 24 people in a circle compete for $1 million challenge. Can you talk a bit about how you were invited to that challenge, what kind of happened, why it was never published?
MrBeast started that 24-hour live stream. We were signing t-shirts and giving stuff away for that challenge. So I threw that on. I'm like, we'll just put this on in the background. We'll watch it the whole time. And he's giving away tickets, and I just kept blowing up the comment section. I didn't even buy a shirt. I won one of the invitations through the comment section on YouTube.
Oh,
for free. Damn, no purchase necessary.
Free as like a free participation, no purchase necessary, I guess.
Yeah, during like height of COVID and everything. It was actually in November. We quarantined for 2 weeks. It was a super nice hotel, like, 2 bedrooms, and they'd bring meals to our room 3 times a day. It was good food, just wanted to keep everybody safe and make sure that we're doing protocols the best way that we could to engage in this video. We all COVID tested, did a giant circle. There was 24 of us, and right in the middle, there's $1 million. And we competed for a few days. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, one of the subcontractors that worked for the team came in and kind of rushed the gun and didn't wait for his COVID results. And he tested positive. And Jimmy came out and he's like, guys, I hate to do this, but one of the guys on the crew has tested positive. I got to keep you all safe. So they canceled the video and they apologized. They sent us all home with 10 grand as an apology. After the new year in January or something like that, we actually got the call again that they were going to refilm this video, and they brought us all back out, and they're like, it's not going to be a 2-week quarantine. We're going to do like a 4 or 5 day quarantine. And during that period of time, pretty much everybody got COVID, including myself. Like, he's just like, I'm so sorry, but like, we literally we can't do it because everybody's sick, but we'll make it up to you in the future. And again, even then, he gave us like financial contributions to help.
Did they split?
Well, that allegation was destroyed. Holy shit. That allegation's dead. Good shit, Soggy Cereal, in finding and interviewing this guy. But yep, that was obviously fake shit. Yep, they actually did film that video. They tried to film it twice. There was COVID. They literally could have nothing about it. I am completely 100% on Team Beast for this one.
It's just like the $1 million over everyone?
Exactly.
They just split the entire $1 million prize money over every 24 contestants.
They took the $1 million and divided it through the 24.
They gave you guys...
So they ended up giving away $1,240,000 just because of COVID reasons. Honestly, nothing but respect. Holy shit.
$1,240,000 in total, I guess.
To stay in a hotel room.
Jesus Christ, you guys get the point that this guy is about as trustworthy as Richard Nixon during Watergate. And at this point he has broken his NDA, committed serious defamation time and time again, and in the process harmed not just MrBeast, but also several other innocent people, who clearly mean nothing more to him than collateral damage. I'm actually surprised people don't want this guy sued, but hey, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know what's illegal, so I called one, and what Dawson is doing is surely not legal. By now,
no, absolutely. A lot of these are, I think, for sure, grounds for a lawsuit. So here's the thing. Let's look at it from MrBeast's perspective for a second. If he sues Dawson, then it looks like he's the big bad guy suing the poor little guy, and he's suing him. If he doesn't sue Dawson, well, it just looks like, oh, he's not suing him because these things are real. God damn. God damn. Is Sagi gonna show proof for this, or just to trust me, bro? Well, I'll be honest with you. He kind of proved that there is slander in here. Bro, there was a clip of Dawson saying that MrBeast's group chat has child porn in it. And that was a lie. I think that's probably enough. You don't even need any of the other shit. Like, god damn.
Results of an investigation done into the MrBeast LLC by an external third-party law firm have been shared and completely aligns with all of the evidence I found. So if at this point you still choose to believe this guy, I kindly want to ask you to stop watching my video and continue putting crayons up your nose while drooling over Dogpack's face. Hey! What, however, is legal is the second illegal lottery.
Alright, wait. So in that response that MrBeast did where he did an internal investigation, it was a third party, it was a legitimate law firm that actually did the investigation, and it took a long time. Now, I am not saying that I know anything for real, as a fact, but it is very likely, from my perspective, that while that investigation was going on, MrBeast couldn't necessarily potentially address a lot of these claims. So maybe the reason for the very long MrBeast silence after all of this situation, he technically couldn't talk about it while that investigation was going on, and it ended up going on for like 3 months where a whole slew of fake allegations got mixed with the real ones, and at that point, where are you now? So that is possible. It's a potential that should be recognized.
Almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, he won. Let's go. Wait, it's literally like his initial. Who is it? My cousin. Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Actually, that's not illegal. Only immediate family can partake in your sweepstakes, and the cousin is not immediate family. It would have been illegal to exclude Chandler's cousin unless if specified in the rules of that specific giveaway. And your snippet isn't from those rules. It's from some lawyer's equivalent to Stack Overflow.
Oh my
So
god.
here's a clip of Tyler forging, or maybe not forging.
Yeah, this was a big one.
Using MrBeast's signature. And again,
yeah, so MrBeast is selling signed shirts, and as you can see, people are using his signature. All right, how's he gonna defend this one? Because in my opinion, this was a pretty slam dunk, legitimate allegation against MrBeast.
I'm not a lawyer. I think this is fraud.
Maybe ask your immediate family, lawyer, next time, because your opinions are fucking stupid. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature if they gave you formal consent to do so.
Okay, yeah, sure, fine. But they're selling it and they're making believe that it's him, okay?
And it doesn't devalue the signature.
It does devalue the signature. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I think it does devalue the signature. Let me give you a hypothetical, okay? If I'm selling Nux signed merchandise, Nux signed merch, signed by Nux, and it has a big Nux on the merch, you'll be like, holy shit, it's Nux signed. There are only 100 of these out there. That's crazy. Oh my god, Nux signed? Because he also mentioned in his video that he's never signing shit again. So if I say that it's Nux signed, and you're gonna be like, oh, all right, I'm gonna pay $100 for this Nux sign, then it turns out I didn't sign anything. I just hired 10 people to sign 1 billion shirts. And then that gets revealed. Well, suddenly all those shirts are worthless because they're not signed by me either. I would argue that this does devalue the signature. Maybe not technically and legally, because you could give someone else consent to use your signature if it's not on specific documents. But I'll be honest, I do think it devalues the value of it because this is memorabilia, right? Can you imagine buying a baseball that is signed by Derek Jeter, and then it turns out it wasn't signed by Derek Jeter? Derek Jeter just let his cleaning lady sign it instead? Like, would you feel a little ripped off? Or would you be like, doesn't devalue the signature, he gave her consent? Just asking if what you think on that one. So I don't know if this is necessarily a fantastic point made by Mr. Serial.
Months later, MrBeast signed shirts again, but this time it was a 24-hour live stream with way more illegal lotteries.
Nope. MrBeast had no purchase necessary in the description, and even though they did say things like,
Would you guys prefer that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders? Yeah.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch!
Hey.
Buy a shirt!
If they ended up picking out of both free and paid entries for those giveaways behind the scenes, which there is no reason to believe they didn't, well, then that is legal in live streams. However, I do agree that it's very scummy and manipulative advertising in my opinion. Now, even though
I agree, and I'm glad he made that distinction. Is it an illegal lottery? No, it is not an illegal lottery. Is it maybe immoral pushing gambling on children? I would argue maybe yes!
I have disproven most of these accusations, there's still a few that I have to investigate deeper.
Alright, let's go.
And since Dogpack404 declined every interview offer, the only other place I could dig up the truth is in the belly of the beast.
Oh man, North Carolina?
Isn't that the boring part of the US?
Oh well.
Oh my
on
god.
my 8-hour sleep-deprived flight, I had a lot of time to think and watch Minions, and there was one question that just kept bugging me. Why did Dogpack commit such serious defamation and violate his NDA? Why risk your entire life just to spread lies about a YouTuber? So I went over everything I knew about Dogpack to try and figure out his motivations. I rewatched his first 2 job applications for MrBeast, which both got denied, and they seemed obsessive at best and pretentiously unprofessional at worst. I went over his personal Reddit account, that 5hat guy, which for the geriatrics watching, 5hat is hip internet lingo for when a person says something very smart, so...
Okay.
So, he's calling himself very smart.
Bro, alright, dude. Okay, alright, let's go.
It's pretty pretentious.
Bro, we jumped from a degenerate MrBeast hater like Dogpack to the ultimate Dogpack hater, Soggy Cereal. This is fucking awesome. Holy shit, this is like an actual human centipede of incredible levels of hatred. And I am all for it, because I believe hate first, ask questions later. Yeah. Oh my god. I appreciate, like, generational hatred. There's something cool about that. As someone that has a couple of generational haters myself, it's nice to see.
Pretentious and cringe. Now I'm starting to see multiple patterns here. Hundreds of obsessive posts and comments on the MrBeast subreddit. New MrBeast interview just dropped. Feastable designs. Him being pretentious, saying he would do shorts better than the current shorts team at MrBeast. Rants whenever people criticized his video IDs. Another third 15-minute long obsessive MrBeast job application where he goes into depth on viewer psychology, showcasing how aware he is of how every small piece of a video can be used to manipulate the viewer in one way or another.
Wait, how does Soggy Cereal have all this personal Dogpack information, like interviews and resumes? I have a very good guess, and it might be that maybe someone in the MrBeast team might have wanted to reach out to him and give him this information so that he can make this video, so that other people could potentially have information that they can disseminate slowly and maybe address certain claims that MrBeast won't personally need to deal with, just because so the public narrative is on his side in specific areas, maybe. I could be completely wrong and off base here, but I do think that makes sense. It's what I would do if I was MrBeast. Moving on.
It now made sense why Dawson used the exact same content cop outfit as iDubbbz, or why he kept repeating his videos weren't monetized, or how he was able to frame and manipulate every lie as if it were the truth. It really all was viewer manipulation? This entire Reddit account just seems like the online embodiment of an unhealthy MrBeast obsession. So then I went over his erratic DMs to me where he threatened to slander me with nothing but false claims. Luckily when he did that, I still had bulletproof receipts, so Dawson had no choice but to back down. Nonetheless, this once again proved to me how Dogpack accuses and tries silencing people without any fact-checking and completely tries warping the truth to push his personal agenda. So, was he really just doing all this because his ego couldn't accept the fact that he got fired from his dream job after only 3 weeks at a YouTuber he was obsessed with? Maybe I'm gonna get some more answers at the MrBeast company, but
shit.
For now, I'll just rewatch Minions for a 3rd time.
No! Stop with the Minions!
Hi, Dustin.
Alright, so interviews. This is gonna be fucking crazy. This is gonna be big. This is gonna be wild. Alright, let's go. Belly of the Beast, baby. Oh god! I'm excited for some chaos. Let's go, baby.
Paris, you are the, well, rogue employee. And I first of all want to ask you what you do at MrBeast, what your role is, and why you decided to reach out and, yeah, correct some of the accusations that have been made.
I worked for Jimmy almost 6 years, going on 6 years. I've been a writer, director, producer, production coordinator.
Dude, where does Jimmy keep finding people with such fantastic beards to work at his company? This is like fucking unfair. Have you seen my editor's beards? Their beards are shit, okay? Jimmy gets the best bearded employees. Anyway, moving on.
An assistant, executive assistant, head of production, head of creative, head of construction, you name it. I've done everything that I can do in this company, and not just to see people slander the work that you've done, but to know that it's lies and misinformation.
Oh shit. Oh shit! I'm here for some chaos. Let's fucking go. As you know, I have been trying my best to cover literally everything on all sides. I have been trying to fling shit where the shit deserves to be flung. But let's go, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I'm ready.
We'll make anybody speak up, to be honest.
Hi, Emily. You worked at MrBeast. Can you tell me how long you've been working there?
I've been working there for shortly over a year as of like 4 days ago.
Is that a woman working at MrBeast? Oh my god, how the mighty have fallen. I thought he's supposed to hate women. God.
I'm the ideation strategist right now, ideation generator, coordinator, so that's my official title.
If I remember correctly, that is also where Dawson worked, or for the internet, Dogpack 404 worked. Yeah. So he worked closely together with you.
Yeah, it was me and him in the department for about 2 weeks. It was just the two of us, and Hoodie was overseeing us.
Everybody calls me Hoodie because all I did like back in the day 8 years ago was run my own YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hoodie. I got to work all over in different departments. I've been creative. I've been in ideation right now as far as thumbnail.
When you're saying ideation manager, I guess then you were the manager of Dawson or Dogpack 404.
I was the manager of Dogpack 404 for a time being.
Yeah, dude, holy shit. It's crazy to see how many people are affected by Dogpack's lies, right? You have to realize this. Look at all these people affected by Dogpack's lies. Obviously, a lot of it's true. A lot of it. Obviously, some of it's true. The fact that he had a pedophile on his staff, you know. The fact that he knew about what Chris Tyson was doing, you know. You can keep going. But, like, there is so much wild lies here. Hasn't Dogpack DM'd you? I've talked to Dogpack. Multiple times. And I've talked to MrBeast. I've honestly been doing nothing but my best to try to have the most, level-headed, chaotic bullshit take I could possibly have on all this. I think that it's perfectly legitimate to think that, despite the fact that a lot of the claims are bullshit, some of the claims are real.
I've heard some stories of people feeling kind of off when he was hired, and I was wondering, why did you hire him?
I didn't hire that guy.
Oh,
no, I inherited that man.
Oh, okay, you didn't. Okay, how did that come to be then?
You want to know? So the real thing that actually happened was he applied to Beast while I was still the creative manager. He applied to Beast twice, and I saw his interview and went, interesting. He's got an analytical brain.
Yeah.
That's not creative. Like, what he's talking about just won't fit what we're trying to do with our videos. So I turned him down the first time.
Okay.
Then he applies the second time a couple months later.
To ideation, I guess.
Still the creative.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah, this guy's still, like, he's got, like, an interesting mind, but I don't know. I think he'd probably fit somewhere else in, like, a different department or a different channel. Who knows? He's clearly smart, but nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. A void opened up, something random happened. He spawned in on the channel, just randomly in ideation. I got summoned into a room and got told by our leaders, they're like, hey, there's a gap in ideation and thumbnail. I need somebody to go in there and help. Can you be that guy? And I was like,
all right,
sure,
all
I'll go.
right.
Okay. And I went in, and that's the first time I met Dawson.
Dawson sent me a screenshot of messages he had between you and him. Can you just verify that these are real? These are.
Yes,
Yeah,
those
okay.
messages are between me and Dawson.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you tell me a bit about your relationship with Dawson during both of you guys working there? Was there something that felt off?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, me and Dawson were cordial. Like, I tried to keep it professional. I think he tried his best to keep it professional, but I will say it was a little uncomfortable with just me and him in the office. He seemed pretty disinterested in making genuine connections with people at the company. He gave weird vibes for sure, and I felt like very uncomfortable working.
Again, not like anything with meat. I'm waiting for some meat and potatoes, all right? If a coworker of a guy that is currently slandering the entire company gave you bad vibes a year ago, like, I'm not going to sit here and make believe that that's a legitimate point against him. Again, I'm waiting for the meat. Give me some meat and potatoes, goddammit!
In the office with him. He didn't seem to work too well with others.
Okay. This ain't real chaos. This is simp chaos. I need real chaos.
It seemed like he had no respect for Hoodie. He didn't take any of Hoodie's advice. It seemed like he didn't think he knew what Hoodie was doing. But yeah, Dawson definitely did not like Hoodie. Yeah, did not like Hoodie, did not show him any respect, even though he was his superior and he was trying to train him into being a better ideation strategist.
So there was a leaked document, about like work culture, and there was a line in there. No, it doesn't mean no, and it has a pretty negative connotation. And I was wondering, because you as a woman working at Beast,
I think I speak for all women when I say that it is a bad joke.
What was your reaction when reading that no, it doesn't mean no thing? And
yeah, so I actually wrote that part. Like.
Oh my God! Destroyed, brother. Well, that's a twist. A monkey wrench thrown into the stratagems. Oh, shit. Oh, my glob. Well, that's a plot twist. See, I'm glad Mr. Beast and I have a very similar strategy when it comes to avoiding criticism. You see, I have a new strat when it comes to criticizing women on the internet. I simply have a woman on my side when I criticize that woman, and I let the allied woman attack the enemy woman, and that way it's like it's a woman-on-woman violence, and therefore I cannot be accused. It's my new strategy. Every time I see like Shoe on Head or Brett Cooper or like one of these women out there making fun of other women, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, the defense mechanism activates, it kicks in, and we just get involved. Or Hermes, or Fifi. Yeah, it's all part of the strategy. It's literally all part of the strategy.
Yeah. That's why it's funny. Yeah, because I actually wrote this thing with Jimmy doing this. The whole reason why this thing exists in the first place is because we are growing so fast, people-wise. It's like, okay, how do we give them artificial Jimmy time? Like, how do we teach them what CTR is, teach them what 1 out of 10 is? Yeah. Like, how do you say, okay, this is how we think about creative, this is how what it takes to be successful here, you know, based off of the hard things we got to do. That's the intent behind the document, right? No doesn't mean no is wildly taken out of context, I think, in this situation.
I mean, it is, but it obviously did come from that. Like, it's a play on words on the whole sexual assault thing, right?
Because in the way that we mean it, it's a sales tactic. It's like, again, like I mentioned, like you call a crane operator and go, hey man, I need you to drop a jet from your crane, and they're like, huh? No, I can't do that, right? And so for us, it's more like, well, why can't you do that? And they're like, oh, well, I don't have the manpower to do this. And it's like, okay, well, how do we help you get past that, right? Can we help get you more labor? Is it like that's what it means, because like we wouldn't have a company if we start at no at face value.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's disingenuous, because in the actual no does not mean no document, I know this as a professional fucking slop enthusiast. You see, I have a PhD in fucking slop. In that no doesn't mean no section, you say maybe the manager at the Walmart wouldn't let you do it, but the manager's child is a Mr. Beast fan, so you could convince the manager to get annoyed by his kid that the Mr. Beast will film there in order to let you break rules and film there. That's what the no does not mean no thing was. It was circumvent regular policy by using any means necessary to be able to get you in that position. That was what the no does not mean no thing was. Now, I would argue that that's not such a big deal. Again, in the grand scheme of allegations, that's not such a big deal. But it's slightly disingenuous to frame it as, well, we'll just work it out in a way that works for everybody.
Right? Because if everybody that told us no, we couldn't do some of the crazy things that we've done. In no sense of the word, in the context means, like, as a female, if somebody comes up to me and says...
Obviously not, but it was a reference to that, and I do think it was probably for that joke, but bro, holy shit. The fact that a woman wrote it is, like, the ultimate power move. Like, that's fucking alt-might Detroit Smash level destroying the allegations.
Pervert comment, like, they keep trying. Like, not at all.
Okay,
you know
because
what I mean?
that was kind of concerning, I guess. But
well, yeah, like, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Okay.
Like, in any
obviously
sense of the word, it's like, no, like, it's a sales tactic. It's been around long before, like, we put it down on paper.
The truth of the matter is we were 4.5 weeks out of that video and we didn't have a hole or a train. And I don't know if you know anything about digging dirt, but it takes a long time to dig a hole that deep. And the location we ended up shooting it at happens to be a close personal friend of mine, and just happened to have a 50-foot deep quarry. That was
So I have a friend with a pit in his backyard, nothing sussy at all. Anyway, we used that.
Already dug, and the creative behind the video was that it was an 80-foot hole, so I had to get it dug another 30 feet in 4 weeks, which that much limestone is a lot to do. So we hired a massive excavating team to come out and dig the other 30 feet out, and then the reason that the hole is CG'd in the video is because of safety, right? We needed to create a back wall that the train wouldn't crash into and potentially.
So the hole was CG'd into the video. So the hole is real, it was just CG'd into the video. So Dogpack was like sort of wrong, but not completely wrong, right?
Potentially kill people. So the hole is a little bit bigger than the video.
And also, it is important to note that even if some of these things are faked, god damn, bro, it's such an ugly situation. The first safety thing is an excuse that you should definitely use. Obviously, you should follow every safety regulation everyone tells you to do. You should always do everything for safety, but simultaneously, you can't frame it as if it's real and being like, well, the reason why it's fake was for safety, so it's okay to make it look fake. That's stupid too, right? We can recognize the stupidity kind of on both sides.
Video that we put lifts and cameras on that were far enough away that the train wouldn't hit them and no one would die, right? So it was all safety concern. It was not about faking a hole at all.
War crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you make that joke?
I didn't work on that video. I was in the company at the time. I was working on a separate project, and I got a call, and they were like, "Hey, Jake's not doing so hot," and so I came in and
safety first. Why didn't they take Jake Weddle out of that room? Right? You'd think if safety first was such a big mentality, they would have taken him out of there. Ultimately, you have to recognize he had the right to leave at any time. He had the right to leave.
And the assessment was accurate. He was not doing so hot.
Okay.
I just kind of I was talking to him. I was trying to cheer him up, and I made that joke. It's a war crime. I didn't think it was going to turn into a bunch of thumbnails and
Yeah, I thought it was a joke as well.
titles on YouTube, but
Yeah,
it was serious. I mean, it was obviously a joke, and it was definitely framed a little more maliciously
Yeah,
in the video.
They didn't insinuate it as a joke in the video. They didn't
Yeah.
show like the war crime, like definition of war crimes while it's being said. Which can you talk a bit about, like, since you were friends with Jake Weddle, did he talk about it afterwards, or do you know like how it came to be that he had such a rough time in that challenge, in that isolation challenge?
Again, I didn't work on the video, so all I can do is I can kind of speculate. So I'll answer you by saying the process we normally go through when we cast. We usually find someone who we think is going to be good for a video, and we usually work with them leading up to the video, letting them know not exactly the challenges that we're going to be doing, but round about the level of difficulty that challenges are going to be.
What about staying up all night in the fucking room and then having to run a marathon? That's fucking insane, brother. That's like actually insane, demented shit. Now, technically, yes, Jake Weddle could have left at any point, but like, god damn.
And then we kind of lay out the challenge, right? We've never really had that issue up to that point, and we haven't ever had that issue since that point. We've even done.
So that was the only, like, actual contestant that got fucking tortured in MrBeast content.
We've done videos like,
according to this guy,
like the Trap Together video that had really, really similar aspects to the video Jake was in, and they.
Except it was literally 2 people. Like, that is a big difference. Right? I feel like 2 people in solitary confinement is not the same as 1 person in solitary confinement. Because, once there's 2 people, it is no longer solitary confinement.
He had a positive experience after the fact. I mean, it was a tough challenge for them, but they released these videos after that. Now, that doesn't take away the way that Jake felt in that video, and I would never do that.
Again, I think that's important to mention. On the one hand, yes, Jake got tortured. On the other hand, he was able to leave. On the other hand, he was maybe peer pressured to stay. On the other hand, he definitely framed it like MrBeast was a war criminal to some degree, even though that's obviously bullshit. So, again, this isn't the biggest allegation, but it is something real to some extent.
I saw the guy; he was not doing so hot, and I don't know what happened in there specifically to make that happen. I don't, I know Jake. He's not lying when he said he had a bad time. Say I don't want to say that it was 100% Jake is the reason that challenge didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to turn out. Some people approach challenges just completely different, and that's the thing is. My brain tells me that if other people have gone through similar challenges and they've turned out okay, then maybe it's not the challenge. And I'm not the type of person.
Oh shit. He's kind of implying that other people would have been fine in this challenge, but it was just Jake wasn't the right person for this challenge. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. But anyway, this is so much hearsay at this point. I feel like you got Dogpack manipulating what Jake Weddle said, and he said his thing. And then you got this guy saying that Jake Weddle was kind of a little bit wrong. I don't know. There's so many hearsays at this point with no evidence. Like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to say here?
Person that holds grudges, and I know I still work here now, and I know he's still making videos, and I know people I have friends that are like, I can't believe you're still talking to Jake Weddle, and I'm like, in 10 years, none of this is going to matter between him and I, and I'm sure we'll have a
Dude, this guy seems based, though.
Year together, because it's, in the grand scheme of things, my friendship with him is more important than anything anybody's going to say online. When he spoke out, I know what he ran into as well. I know he ran into people that sent him hate. I know he ran into people that were sending him death threats. I know that he got doxxed. I know his phone number got leaked. And in that scenario,
holy shit.
As messed up as it sounds, like, he couldn't really turn to any of his friends at Beast, because he had kind of just
it would be kind of a conflict.
Kind of just upset everyone at Beast. I mean, like, who does he have to turn to? He has to turn towards.
Technically, he worked with Dogpack for the biggest takedown campaign of MrBeast of all time. Like, MrBeast allegations before this was his thumbnail seems a little demonic, right? Like, this is a whole new level.
Rosanna and Dogpack and all the people that are making these videos about us. I mean, I think he found a family and he found a home. I don't fault the guy for sticking with that little group of people making videos. Like,
This dude seems like such a base guy. Holy shit. Like, I'm not gonna make believe I trust him because I don't trust nobody. I think that no one on the internet is trustworthy. All right, at least 25% of people on the internet are liars. Never trust anything. But this guy seems like just a really decent man.
it just makes sense. So something I also want to ask you about is about Lukoya Hill, and there was some mismanagement from him towards his assistant. There are some allegations out there, but nothing concrete so far. And,
All right.
yeah, can you tell me
Lukoya Hill, you ready?
a bit about what really went on with Lukoya Hill?
Yeah, so like just to kind of give you background on like when someone reports something to HR, which would have been me at the time because it was years ago.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody reports it, I go, hey, okay, like thank you, I appreciate it. We're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to look into it. Then we always hire a third party company, either a lawyer.
Wait, so this wasn't the first third-party investigation that was done by MrBeast? That's not what I thought. I somehow thought this was the first ever investigate. All right, I could be wrong, but okay, interesting.
Or someone that's like not here to like prove one person right or wrong, but like a
unbiased
true unbiased party. And so then like everybody talks to him, like the person, his assistant would have talked to them, Lukoya would have talked to them, and any person that they named as witnesses or potential proof of text messages, like pictures, anything, like this company would have dealt with. And then they write a report and then they go, hey, here's what you should do, right? And so that's what they do. And then internally what we do is like, okay,
all right.
the assistant, like, what do you want to happen, right? If it's this, if it's that, like obviously if it's found like he's got, like that's not okay in the workplace.
All right.
If it's not confirmed that there is something,
like of course, like we're not gonna hang on to that, right?
Okay, so it was confirmed that something did happen with this Lukoya Hill guy. All right. Okay, that's a pretty big deal, I suppose.
And so, and he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like, I don't want to be around him. I don't.
Okay, I feel like we're missing something in this story. Because the story Dogpack told was this Lukoya Hill guy allegedly sexually harassed somebody in the company. I would think that at that point you fire the guy immediately. She's making it seem like whatever he did was bad enough that she didn't want him around, but not bad enough to fire him. And that is a little weird, and I want to know the story. I still think that there is more information that is going to come out about this one specifically. So we'll see.
I don't want to see him, like it's just really uncomfortable for me, you know? So we're like, okay, great, so.
You want to get rid of him because it's uncomfortable, but you don't want to fire him? We're still missing something. I will never get trust issues on this internet. God damn it.
Like, I actually worked with him to come up with a list of like jobs that he wanted, because again, if the person who he's assisting is not here, like it's like, okay, well now what's your job? Like, so it was like we came up with everything he was interested in, like what he wanted to do and stuff like that, and moved him into a different role. And we said, hey, you won't have to see Lukoya again. We're gonna like move him completely out.
That was said by the affected person. I mean, fair, but if the affected person thought it was so bad to get rid of him, then you'd think it would be bad enough to fire him. Again, I'm missing something. Missing some detail in here.
It wasn't a secret. Like, we moved him to a new company idea that we had. He was the only person in that company. He wasn't even on site. He wasn't working in the building. He wasn't anything like that. Like, we just said, hey, we think this is a cool idea. Go figure it out. And so he went on his own to go figure that out.
Wait, so they didn't necessarily fully fire him? They just gave him a new role and was like, yo, this is probably a good idea. And maybe they even gave him a raise or some shit? Maybe they gave hush money to the dude? I have no idea. I'm not satisfied. I feel like we're missing some pretty big details here, and I think that they will get revealed. You wonder if what happened will be revealed? I think they will. I may or may not have a reason as to why I think they will. But I think they will. And I think when the full story is revealed, it'll look better. But I could be wrong. I didn't pre-watch the future, okay? This isn't Nux pre-watching the future. But we'll see. More context required.
And then the assistant worked with us for a long time, and then when he wasn't here anymore, I think it was like almost a year after the assistant like had chosen to do whatever he wanted to do. Then we were like, okay, we'll bring Lukoya back to help, because at this point there's no conflict anymore. So that's really what it was. Like, it was no, oh, we're gonna go hide Lukoya over here, and like, I mean, even now Lukoya doesn't work for us anymore.
Most of the time he was there.
Yeah, that doesn't help, because now he doesn't work for you anymore. Again, I think there's more. I might have reason to believe there's more. I might just be talking out of my ass. You'll have to respect my dancing around certain issues, because I currently have, a migraine headache. Oh, it's confusing me. I'm all confuddled and bumbling.
Was consumed in trying to get an Apple Vision Pro.
Any weird stories circulating or whatever of something Dawson did at the company or?
I heard that he told the chef that his food was trash.
I heard that story too, yeah. And then he like denied it in a video afterwards, and I talked about that, but
I'm not sure how much.
Okay, that's just as unsubstantiated as a lot of the dog pack stuff. A rumor that he told that trash, that he told his friend that he told the chef that the food was trash. Like, come on, dude. That's like, I mean, obviously at this point this is water cooler talk, and it's made clear that that's the case. So I'm not faulting Soggy on this one, but I hate when people do the I heard. Like, it's when when Rosanna Pansino said, I heard a rumor that MrBeast hired a private investigator to follow me around. And then, I mean, zero evidence or any of that, you know.
Truth there is to that, but I mean, maybe we could call him and see, like, hey.
Yo! They asked the chef. Holy shit.
This is Emily from Ideation.
Hey, Emily, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. Well, I'm here with Soggy. I wanted to ask you, I have a question to ask you about Dawson, but I want to make sure you're comfortable being recorded first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I heard a rumor circulating that Dawson told you that your food was trash. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time I actually met him. It was kind of after his tour, you know, of our studio and such, and he actually came over, you know, tried some of the food that we had in the fridge, and then proceeded to tell me it tasted like shit, and that he wishes that we would cater more frequently.
Damn! That sounds like something a disgruntled employee would say. Oh my god, he said that on his tour on his first day? Jeebus Fleebus. What the schlorb?
Wow.
Which is fairly interesting because I'm not sure if I had introduced myself or people felt comfortable enough to tell me the food tasted like shit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it went, my first interaction with him. And then other than that, I really had no other interaction or wanting to have any other interaction with him after that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that, but I disagree. I think your food is great.
Thank you so much. I mean,
recently there was this video that started getting some traction. One of the clinics where
yeah, I got more information about this one as well.
Some of the eye surgeries were happening and helping 1,000 people see for the first time. And they claimed that the MrBeast company hadn't paid for any of the surgeries yet. Can you talk a bit about that?
Essentially, when we did that video, we worked with a...
They worked with a third-party charity, and the third-party charity didn't necessarily help out as much.
Third party? And that third party worked with a bunch of different organizations all around the world because we were trying to spread it as far as we could, multiple countries. Yeah. So we had one center third party that we were working with, and they kind of worked with all these. One of those organizations somewhere around the world didn't receive the compensation, which we only worked with the third party. We paid them for 1,800 surgeries.
Oh, 1,800, so not 1,000.
Yeah, I was told this as well. They made a video about 1,000 surgeries, but they did an extra 800 surgeries just for charity purposes, which is incredibly based. Like, see, I'm always under the impression that when you have like the super uber rich guy that does a lot of public charity, my impression is that if they're doing a lot of uber charity, then they're probably always going to film charity and probably not going to do charity that isn't filmed. That's usually my guess. But here, he clearly did not film charity, right? 800 people got surgeries.
Yeah, we kept going after 1,000. We just worked with them, and we did more than 1,000. But the title of 1,000 sounds a lot better. So we just says 1,000, and it looks good.
Yeah, but they really did 1,800. From my source, I heard the same thing.
Yeah, so we worked with that third party, and that third party, I don't know what communication error happened between them and the other organization, but some way or another that organization ended up not being funded properly. And then when it came across our desk that the missing loop happened, we just went around the third party we were going to work with to compensate them. And they've put out a video since talking about it.
Yeah, we're doing a video. I have fully covered that story on my channel already.
Where we're trying to help people walking.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Actively, partners have pulled out because of these videos. There are people who will not walk or will have to delay in them walking because of the videos that Dogpack made.
That was
unironically, like I was getting pissed.
So actually, I've heard this as well. The slander is actually affecting MrBeast. Well, some of it's slander, some of it are allegations, whatever you want to call it. It is definitely affecting MrBeast and the team and the squad and all that shit. Yeah.
Pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence.
That was also like a serious idea that he had.
Yeah,
joke.
It again goes back to like the no, I'm joking. Because if I pitch you an idea of like Jimmy tries every drug and you're like, that's sick. I'm like, Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but if I
It's Schrodinger's idiot, right? It's when you say something fucking stupid, and then based on people's reactions of the thing you say, you make believe if it was serious or a joke. Like, that's actual Schrodinger's idiot.
would go like, huh, that's kind of weird.
I'd be like,
KSI did the same thing with his song. He's like Schrodinger's idiot. Like, either the song was bad on purpose and he was manipulating people, or he was actually just salty.
whoa,
it's a joke.
whoa,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
taking that weird. I was
Yeah.
just putting that in as a joke. Like, that's crazy.
How in depth he went on like how viewer psychology works. So he obviously knows how like every part of a video can manipulate the viewer in some way or form. And you can see that both by that video he made to apply at the MrBeast channel, but also you can see that just in the videos he made. Yeah. You know, the MrBeast, the fraud videos and stuff. He accuses the MrBeast company of really trying to psychologically target children and like manipulate children.
I said this in my very first reaction to the first dog pack shenanigans that was happening. Making your videos to psychologically manipulate children to watch your videos just means that you're making good videos on YouTube. Like, ultimately, yes, some of the practices of, like, Cocomelon are definitely fishy, and I don't like them. Like, they use color grading and awful messaging in order to keep kids attached, repeating words and shit like that. But if you're just gonna simply make a video that's just very hyper-focused and ADHD, like, jumping around all the time to get kids to watch it more because you want the content to be better, like that's just making good videos.
Is there any truth to that in the ideation team? And like, did he try to bring his like skills of a viewer psychology into ideation? Did he try to do
Yes to that. Yes to trying to bring the skills of viewer psychology into ideation, and also trying to like bleed it over to creative.
Yeah.
So that way we could figure out like, okay, well, you know, psychologically a near miss is going to be the craziest thing that we could do here. We should do that, which he has on his like Miro boards, where it's like the exact things that he calls Jimmy out for. If he was here for longer than a month, he would know that we were actively working at aging up our content, because that was something that we were like very cognizant of, is, hey, we should make our content something that is appealing and enjoyable to like people who are older.
Yeah, you could tell. They started making longer videos with bigger themes and like more, you know, spending time in a cave and shit like that. A lot of which videos I thought were pretty shitty recently, to be honest. I think he made some of his like worst videos of all time recently, to be completely honest. But yes, this was obviously something that they have been focusing on.
Like, who are the people that aren't watching our videos? Probably 30 to 40 to 50 to even 60-year-olds. How do we make our videos enjoyable for those guys? So we're hitting a general audience. Now,
you think that your new videos are good videos for 60-year-olds? You think a 60-year-old wants to see you in a cave that was secretly a park? What?
now you could argue, yeah, a general audience. I mean, we need to make...
It's me in an underground city with I Show Speed! And then you see some 60-year-old, oh yeah, I Show Speed.
Make a video that like a 10-year-old and a 90-year-old can understand, which is the same for the challenges that we have to do in videos like that anyways. When we do a video like ages 1 to 100, fight for blah, 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 we have to make a challenge so simple to understand and easy to process that a literal 1-year-old and a 99 to 100-year-old can understand.
Yeah.
Like, we need to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's just generalizing.
All right. All right, so that's the big fucking end of the interviews. I think the interview part was nice to see that they're like real humans over there, but I don't know.
I went all the way from America and back, and all I gotta show for it is this ugly plushie and this fart gun from Minions.
This guy has a problem.
And the interviews.
I'm just telling you, my grandpa, he's 100 years old. There's no way in fucking hell he would be watching a MrBeast video, okay? He would more likely be watching the news and criticizing the news anchors while they're speaking. That's what my grandfather would do, okay? Okay, he would not be watching a MrBeast video. I'm just saying. So maybe focus on people under the ages of 40.
I held, by the way, which did clarify a lot. I think I personally finally realized how big of a company and how many people actually work at MrBeast. It's not like,
yeah, they have like hundreds of employees for sure.
Like a small 10 people thing as it was a few years ago. And I'm glad that the interviews clarified Jake Weddle's experience and didn't end up invalidating his personal perspective. But
yeah, no, absolutely. The guy was tortured.
Did add some context that it might have not been the challenge that was terrible, but he himself wasn't mentally in the best state in life at that point. But there's one more thing I have to clarify for everyone, and that is the illegal lottery number 1.
All right.
Which, on my flight back, I finally found some proof that the first illegal lottery was in fact illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description,
shit.
no mention of it at all. Yeah, it was illegal.
All right, well, I mean, the first illegal lottery was in fact an illegal lottery. Damn.
Personally, Jimmy has to own up for it, either by donating the amount of profit he made in that live stream to a charity, or by refunding everyone who bought a shirt in that stream, but that's like so many years ago, so I don't know if that's a possibility, or do a giveaway live stream where everything is given away for free, with no merch sales attached. However, I do also want to note that most YouTubers, including me, didn't know that you could do something like an illegal lottery. So since only the first one was
again, see, here's the thing. I never looked at the illegal lottery thing necessarily as like the big claim against MrBeast. I think the fact that he was promoting gambling to children was arguably worse than the whole illegal lottery aspect. But then again, I have an opinion that legality and morality are not the same thing. So even if something's technically legal, it doesn't make it moral, and even if something is technically, even if something is immoral, in my opinion, that doesn't make it illegal. So in my opinion, promoting gambling to children, not cool. That's the same golden ticket shit in his Feastables as well, but that's my personal morality, and I'm not going to make believe that everyone's morality is the same. As I've told you multiple times, I am going to give you a lot of harebrained, off-the-wall hot takes over the course of my videos, okay? You should probably agree with about 80% of them. About 20% of my hot takes are fucking insane, and if you agree with them, there's something wrong with you, okay? I'm just putting that out there.
Legal. I feel like it might have been a mistake. I don't know. I can't say that for sure.
Just my guess is it was a mistake also, because what the fuck? How did they know? Like, this was their first ever live stream doing something like this. They probably never heard about it, and then in the future they did it because they got a lawyer that told them, yo, that's technically an illegal lottery. So that is my guess. However, he probably should have apologized for it. That is definitely true.
Just as the question if MrBeast is evil isn't for me to say, but that is again for you, the viewer, to decide.
Yeah, and you all, with your own questionable dumbfuck moralities, need to decide if you think he's evil too. Now, to be clear, the Delaware messed up nickname, he put a nice big X on it, but I don't think this deserves a full X. I think the fact that Delaware was a registered pedophile that was on MrBeast's crew, and it was alleged that he knew about it, even though he might not have known about it. That part is not factual. That there's no evidence to that, but there is evidence he was a pedophile. It means MrBeast absolutely needed to address that when he fired him. It means that he needs to tell us the truth and deny publicly instead of privately. He needs to deny publicly that he never knew that he was a pedophile before hiring him. So I think this Delaware thing, it's technically an X because they didn't make up the nickname, but I still think it's pretty awful. I still think the 100 Boys vs. Girls video was slightly rigged, but not big enough to actually matter. I'm not going to believe that most videos are rigged. I do think that the things that they do rig for the sake of safety, they should mention that it was for the sake of safety. And I think MrBeast agrees with that opinion. Not that I would know, but I think he probably would agree with that opinion, that he should mention it in the future if those things happen. Obviously, he never committed war crimes. So child psychology is bullshit. Everyone just makes their videos good. Illegal Lottery 3, yep, that wasn't illegal, even though it's gambling to children. Maybe, but it's not illegal. Meaningful FBI report, that's bullshit. It makes it look like it's so much worse than it was by reporting him to the FBI. I'm surprised in this video with this whole list. One thing that I do like is that these are specifically the dog pack allegations. I think it is very important to note the fact that Ava Chris Tyson is in fact a degenerate. We don't know how much MrBeast know, but that's one thing. Illegal Lottery 1 was technically illegal, but whatever. Jake Weddle was in fact tortured in the video. He was able to get out of it, so it's not that big of a deal, at least from my perspective, looking at who MrBeast is. But dude still got tortured. A lot of the other shit ended up being fake. I am curious about more details on the LaCoya Hill situation, which I think we're going to get. Two more big things. One, the alleged crypto scams, where MrBeast posted like smiley faces and super and shit on Twitter to seemingly promote a coin, maybe, and it might have been a scam. And let me tell you one other one, and that's the Beast Games lawsuit. Now, he's getting sued in Beast Games allegedly because people broke bones and shit, and because women didn't get their hygiene products and girls got sexually harassed, and like this whole list of shit on that lawsuit. But I personally don't think that is necessarily maybe gonna hold water. Anyone could file a lawsuit for anything. We're in fucking America. I could sue you for your titties being too small. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am curious to see what happens with that lawsuit, and I am going to reserve judgment until then, because it's very likely that the lawsuit allegations might not be true. So, we're going to wait for that. I am very curious to see that in the public domain, because I think it will change people's opinions a lot based on what is going on. So, anywho, I think most of these accusations are fake. Again, I think there's like 5 legitimate things that MrBeast needs to talk about. And all this other shit is bullshit. Like the James Warren domestic violence, like get the fuck out of here. Chandler's cousin illegal contestant, yeah, that was obviously bullshit. This one blew my mind. The No 24 $1 million giveaway. It turns out they actually gave away more than $1 million, and because people got COVID, they just couldn't film it. Like that is incredibly good, right? The child labor thing was debunked. The fake wink was debunked. The luxurious production yacht was debunked, even though technically he did leave the raft. Like honestly, this was a good video. And honestly, I think MrBeast deserves an apology. Like, he needs to address these 5 things, but he deserves an apology for all this other slanderous shit. I am sorry to MrBeast if I have propagated any of these claims without being properly vetting some of this shit. Even though I think I did more or less a pretty okay job, more or less. But, yeah. Basically, I think MrBeast dropped on the war crime, the fucking evil tier list, right? He used to be a B tier on the the tier list. He's down to C. We gotta wait for some responses. Crypto scams, Delaware, Ava Chris Tyson. These are the big 3. And we'll see more information about LaKoya Hill and the lawsuit in the future. But ultimately, that's where we're wrapping this journey up. I'll just let him finish his little rant, Mr. Soggy Cereal, but you did a good-ass video.
Because there is some shit that he should be criticized for and has to be looked into. I know
Yes.
Coffeezilla.
That's the point. Bro needs to be looked into for the real things, but in order to focus on the real things, you gotta fucking cook all these bullshit accusations.
Is doing an investigation into his crypto stuff, and once that releases, I hope that clarifies some things, because those are some serious allegations. And
Yeah, he didn't make it look too good, to be honest.
Wasn't of like stupid.
I just covered that. I covered that before my conversation with MrBeast. But yeah, no, that definitely looked a little bit sussy-wussy. I don't know enough about crypto to make believe I know what's going on.
The lesson, Jimmy, 19 years old and hiring someone without doing background checks, that was like 3 years ago, way more recent, that he should be held accountable for if he did.
Well, I mean, also, he fired that guy without ever mentioning anything publicly, and I think you should definitely mention that too.
Commit crimes with crypto. So yeah, go check Coffeezilla's video on that once it releases. I couldn't really investigate the crypto stuff because I don't know shit about crypto, and I didn't want to be hypocritical like Dogback and talk about shit I don't know anything about. Because that's basically what Dawson has been doing for the past few months. I feel like Jimmy has to become way more transparent because that...
I said this to the man too. Whatever. Anyway, there are reasons why potentially things couldn't have been said at different times, but dude needs to nip every allegation in the bud. Allegation comes out that's obviously fake, right? Bro needs to sit down and be like, yo, cook that fraud. That's fake. Instantly. You don't do this silencing shit, editing old videos, manipulating content, deleting comments, not reposting shit on Twitter, doing a investigation, posts lawyered messages, leaking documents about how people get fired. That shit's sussy, okay?
That is how he got in all this trouble in the first place. They really have to start a MrBeast behind the scenes channel to upload behind the scenes footage there. And stop with the deceptive shit. When you do a sponsor read, don't make the yellow bar go real fast at the start to make the viewer believe that, you know, oh, this...
Again, I think that's deceptive and bullshit also. I hate that he does that, but, I mean, it's not a crime, I guess.
Advertisement isn't gonna take long, I won't skip over it, but then at the end of it, make the visual timer suddenly run way slower. That's not just deceptive, I think that's pretty disrespectful towards your audience. And I know that there are still questions that you guys probably have with stuff that I just couldn't address because there is so much, but I can forward you to some other people who have talked about stuff that I might have forgotten in this video. You know, if you want to know some more about Beast...
Yeah, I gave you a lot more. Ooh, Beast Games.
Games and the Beast Games lawsuit, definitely check out Stucky's channel. He did a great deep dive on that, and I made many other videos on the whole Dogback MrBeast situation.
Yeah, the Beast Game stuff, oh god, I can't wait for information to come out on that for reasons that are my own and not yours, but goddamn, that one does not look nearly as bad as I originally thought it was.
And again, once Coffeezilla's investigation on the crypto stuff is out there, I highly recommend you to go watch that, because...
Chat, you guys keep asking me if I asked things to MrBeast. I asked most things to MrBeast, okay? I really did. Ask most things to the guy. I'm not releasing any private information. This is my branding. I've never leaked private shit. And I don't intend to start here. We don't leak. I didn't leak the Niji Sanji contracts, and I ain't leaking nothing, no conversations with nobody. Alright? My private messages and conversations are a safe space for criminals around the world. No, it was a joke. But yeah, I don't leak shit. I don't leak shit.
That'll clarify a lot of stuff that I don't know anything about, because I trust those investigative creators 10,000 times more than I do Dawson. Instead of having competent people investigate serious accusations, he's just been throwing baseless shit at the wall and hoping some stuff sticks with the audience. He is incompetent, petty, a liar, deceptive, and after all this, I just know that he is a disgruntled employee. I've been investigating this for like the past 3 months, and I really hope that I was able to answer some questions you guys had before watching this video. Also, Jimmy, stop the collabs with Logan Paul. If you
I might have said something similar to that.
want to see some more of my interview,
I was like, dude, why do you think that people are calling you a scammer when you are collabing with scammers? It's like, whatever. But like, come on, man. Come on, dude.
views or some extra additional context that I have but wasn't able to put in this video, let me know in the comments below. I might talk about it on my socials, so make sure to check those out in the description, as well as maybe post some stuff on my second channel, so make sure to check that out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for joining my cereal bowl so I can absorb all of your fibers and nutrients, and I hope that the MrBeast drama is finally over now.
Yeah, we need next Pegasus video gonna go crazy. This was a really good video. I'm not gonna, listen, I covered the video, so I don't need to tell you now the TLDR, what I agreed with, what I didn't agree with. But it was a banger. Definitely check out Soggy Cereal. Bro obviously makes good shit and obviously cares about what he's talking about. Except for his last video about slop content in which he talked about me. But I didn't think that was a very good video. but this one was a banger. So hell yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Dogpack, and thank you, MrBeast, for reaching out to clarify some shit to me. I'll be honest, that was pretty fucking based. It's pretty fucking based. I'm really glad that I wasn't like one of the big propagators of false information, and I was just a simple hater. Thank you so much. See you later, gamers. And Soggy Cereal, you have a booger in your nose? Just thought you should know. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.